Hello and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series Storm Division. I am the Crushinator and I will be your host for tonight's matchup between ReGen and Team Exodia. Both teams coming off a Week 1 win, looking for their second win this week. One team will go undefeated and one team will go to a 500 record. We are waiting for a lobby here, but in the meantime, we'll get you a little bit caught up on the situation. Of course, if you put !Storm in chat, you'll get all the information about the Nexus Gaming Series Storm Division, everything you might want to know. If you put in !Matcherino, it takes you over to the site where you can donate to the prize pool for this season's Storm Division. We've had a lot of people donating so far, and anything that you can contribute will go towards these players in this fantastic division that's been put on by the Nexus Gaming Series. And if you really like what we're doing here and you want to support the Nexus Gaming Series more, then you can head on over to patreon.com and check us out. There's all sorts of different tiers and different benefits you can get. !Patreon in the chat for that. Alrighty, we are going to have a lobby pretty soon here, but I've got some stats for you. I've got some info for you as we load up this series, so let's take a moment and take a look at that now. I've made a little graphic. Oh, it's hot or not. So I've done a lot of I did a lot of stats research today. I wanted to check out what was going on with the division, what was going on with these teams, and I wanted to bring you a little bit of what I uncovered in this investigation. Now, if you take a look over there, the hot heroes right now, ETC's got to be the number one here. ReGen getting 3 wins last week on the back of ETC. I'm very much expecting Team Exodia to be controlling ETC pick in these drafts today. Looking at the next one there, we see Karazim, an interesting one, not one that we normally see in the meta, but Team Exodia managed to catch 2 bans and picked up 1 win on Karazim last week, so ReGen's going to have to take notice and make sure that they don't let the monk through unabated. Going down the list there, we see Ana and Junkrat. Despite catching bans more than 50% of the time, when they do get into matches, they are still winning more than 50% of the time, so I do not expect to see these heroes come through very often in today's matchup. Taking a look over at the not side, we see Garrosh first. Now, interestingly enough, Garrosh actually has the highest involvement rate right now in the Storm Division at 96%. However, when Garrosh actually gets into a game, he's only 3-8 right now, like a 27% win rate. And neither of these teams have been able to pick up a win on the War Chiefs. So I think Garrosh might fall a little bit further down the priority list today, but we'll see if one of these teams can turn him around a little bit. Looking down to Greymane. Greymane, very highly picked here in the NGS, 74% pick rate. However, neither of these teams have played him much. Only 2 games combined between ReGen and Team Exodia on Greymane, so I don't know how much we're going to see the Worgen leader today. Alrighty. Let the teams know that I'm ready. And we're going to head over to the map screen as these teams are about ready to go, so I'll let you know what we are doing. Boom. I had to let them know where the stream was. Oh! Alright, let's head into the maps here. ReGen won the coin toss and chose first pick for this series. They chose to ban away Dragonshire and Alterac Pass. Team Exodia choosing to ban away Volskaya Foundry and Hanamura Temple. And it is Team Exodia that's going to be bringing us to Infernal Shrines for game number 1. I believe we're about ready to go. Just checking in on the teams. Everyone's there. I think we're going to have a draft for you in just a moment. Let's take a pull on the water here. All right, we'll bring you back to me for just a moment. Teams are just confirming. Gazlo still not allowed, Diva still not allowed for this week. Though, given, you know, as long as the bugs are okay, they should be available next week. Should be available next week, but no Gaz or Diva reworks today. Unfortunate, but won't be waiting too much longer here. Alright, almost ready to go. Taking a look over in chat. Pina Colada, Sprice 19, Trupar, Murda RG, Captain Wedge, Bake, Back JE, I'm going to go with. Going to give him the ready once again. Alright. I almost had the timing right. I was that close. But let's get into the draft. Here we go. Infernal Shrines is our draft number 1. I'm interested to see whether I got those ban calls right. We are here on Infernal Shrines, not one where we normally see anything too funky. We have seen throughout the Storm Division on maps like Towers, maps like Braxis, things like Lost Vikings, Abathur being banned away, some funky rotators like Samuro being worried about. But Infernal Shrine's about as down the middle as it gets, so I'm not expecting anything too out of the ordinary. Though, when it comes to teams like this, sometimes you got to expect the out of the ordinary, as we see Yrel has been banned away here. Yrel, very highly sought after, very high involvement rate so far in the Storm Division. Not too surprising that we see Yrel taken off the board here by ReGen. Team Exodia, considering their ban number 1 here, they're going to take away the Junkrat. Junkrat also doing very well here in Storm Division. So ReGen has a choice now. With first pick opportunity, they can leave stuff like Ana, like Chromie open, like ETC open. So they're going to force Team Exodia into a choice here on what they want to ban. Interested to see what ReGen's going to take out. They are going to take out the Chromie. Chromie has caught a lot of bans, especially in week number 1 here, but when she's got through, she's only 1-3 right now. Still sort of putting the fear into the teams here in the Storm Division. A well-placed Chromie right there in the back line is very hard to access, and those time traps are very good setup if you ever try to flank her. So, makes sense to me that these teams just don't want to deal with the Sand Mage. Team Exodia next to act. Uh-oh. Missing a ban there. Wonder if we're gonna have to do a redraft. We'll see how it goes here. Double check my everything's good. Okay. Looks like we're gonna continue here as Valimar is gonna grab up the Deckard in the first pick position. Deckard, very popular here in the Storm Division as well. Taking a look at my stats here, 65% involvement rate. So you're gonna see Deckard in most games going into this series. Team Exodia, considering their next 2 picks here, they're going to grab the Tychus, and it will be the Garrosh here for Red Robot. So no wins so far on the War Chief, but they're going to give it a try here. And Kevin, I believe this is his 3rd game on Tychus so far in the Storm Division here. Very, very comfortable on the Terran. Normally when I think about Deckard, I think about Diablo, but I notice ETC is open. Centurion is going to grab the Tassadar, and there it is, Hot Show on that undefeated ETC. Gotta think that was possibly the second ban thought from Team Exodia here. Just hope there wasn't, hope there isn't a disconnect or something with the banner of Team Exodia. Thinking about their 3rd ban, it is going to be Medivh. I believe Exodia played Medivh last week? No Medivh? Or ReGen played Medivh. Yeah, 1 game on Medivh. And it is going to be the Kharazim ban by ReGen. Did their homework, not going to let the Monk through today. So that's 3 bans on Kharazim that have gone towards Team Exodia so far. Not interested in seeing that come on through for Hots. Hots the player, I should say. Team Exodia thinking about what they want to pair with the Garrosh Tychus. It's going to be Sylvanas Malfurion. Sylvanas very powerful here on Infernal Shrines. Big team fight heroic with that silencing arrow. Not surprised at all to see the Banshee Queen hit the battlefield. ReGen thinking about their last two spots here. Thurel off the table. Maybe looking at a Blaze or Leoric in the off lane, unaverted. Possibly a Rainer. It's going to be Leoric, and it's going to be Maiev. Maiev to round out the comp here for ReGen. And Porky will be doing the XP soak work on the Skeleton King Leoric. Nazma's thinking about the solo lane options. There's been some Dahaka, some Abathur in the past here for Nazmus. See what he wants to match here against the Leoric. Sometimes we see a Rexar in that spot. Normally we would see a Yrel, but it's been banned away. It's actually going to be Deathwing. Interesting pickup. We see Deathwing in a lot of roles recently. Sometimes you see him in the front line as a tank. Sometimes you see him rotating with the 4-man. It looks like, if I had to guess, we're going to have Deathwing in the off lane, since it is Nazmus that picked up the big dragon. Alrighty. Game number 1 about to be underway. It's going to be ReGen versus Team Exodia. Here we go. Alrighty, we're gonna load in here to game number 1. Gonna make sure my mouse is on the proper profile. Take a quick look at these teams before we zoom on into the game here. Maiev is definitely a big pick here. Being able to get people all in one spot for those big Deckard roots. We've got the Mosh Pit possibly to layer on top of that. I wonder if it's gonna be a Black Hole from Centurion, given this Wombo setup. Looking over at Exodia, that Deathwing, there's going to be some big poke damage, but we'll see how much gets to go through, and it looks like we're ready here for game number 1. Let's load in, and here we go. On the left, in the blue, we have ReGen with Valimar playing the Deckard, Centurion on the Tassadar, Hotcho playing ETC, unaverted on the Maiev, and TT Porky on Leoric. On the right, in the red, we have Team Exodia with TF Nazmus on the Deathwing, Red Robot playing Garrosh, Hots on the Malfurion, E-Kevin playing Tychus, and Cookie Man on the Sylvanas as we have a pause. Hopefully everything's alright. Back into the match here.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Infernal Shrines is underway. Deathwing is in the sky. Deathwing is on the ground. Nazmus wasting no time, as the teams are going to clash here in the center lane. ETC is going to be looking for globes. Nice Wraithwalk by Porky to get away from the stun of Garrosh. Red Robot going to have to wander on out of there, but will get away safely. Leoric thinking about heading towards the top lane. Going to try to stop the rotation of the Team Exodia solo laner. E-Kevin pushing forward into Hotcho. There's a throw stun by Red Robot. Nice wall, though. Looks like they're trying to get Garrosh on this rotation. Unaverted trying for the body block, but they can't get the pull. And we are going to start our rotation here. Sylvanas already down in the bottom lane. Team Exodia attempting to interrupt the rotations here of ReGen, but it looks like all the XP orbs were picked up. Maiev maintaining lane presence versus Tychus here in the mid. Camps have come up here as Hotcho evading the gank of Team Exodia for now. We'll see them jump onto these camps here in just a moment. Looks like Leoric is going to head down to the middle lane while these camps are being taken by both squads. Deathwing will be staying in the top lane trying to get some extra XP soak versus Leoric here. ReGen first to pick up their Khazra camp. Team Exodia still working on it, so that leaves ReGen with the opportunity to move towards this neutral camp. Right side camp has just been picked up by Exodia. We'll see whether they come on down. It looks like Malfurion is going to be helping out Tychus here in the mid lane. Red Robot and Cookie Man looking to make things interesting. Sylvanas using that Unstoppable on the Haunting Wave to get away from Maev's pull. Hotcho with the slide. Here comes Deathwing, though, and looks like we may have a brawl here in the bottom lane. Nazmus trying to zone away ReGen from Red Robot and Cookie Man. It looks like they will be successful as Hotcho coming on down from the mid lane. That means Leoric is going to get a little bit of a soak advantage. able to stay in the mid lane to clear out those minions before heading to the top as Deathwing ambles on back to the mid. It looks like Sylvanas is going to wander on up there for now to try to catch that XP. Red Robot looking for a possible throw onto Centurion, will not find it. Speaking of XP, if we take a look here, it looks like ReGen is just slightly ahead on the minions so far. A little bit ahead by picking up that extra mercenary camp, but overall very, very even at the start of this matchup. Hacho looking to escape Nasmus as rotating to the mid lane, try to help out Centurion with this camp clear. We are headed to the top lane for an Arcane Shrine for objective number 1. Maiev working on the Shaman camp here for ReGen as we see a pressure onto Hacho in the mid lane. Shrine is active. Porky trying to be aware of the rotations of Team Exodia while catching this experience. Cookie Man pushing into the fort wall here. Deathwing in the bottom lane, going to be using that global to join the fight, try to pick up level 7 quickly here for Team Exodia. Red Robot not quite finding the throw. The wall is out. Red Robot taking some damage, has to use that Indomitable to get away. Didn't quite get the Medallion proc to stop the Maiev pull, but Red Robot's going to get out of there just fine. So it looks like Unaverted looking for a possible flank here. He's got eyes for E-Kevin. Oh, gonna go ahead and start up this shrine with a very brief level 7 advantage. Leoric down in the bottom lane to try to match Deathwing, who is now in the air. So we could see Nasmus coming down at any moment, and here they come. There's the Unstoppable onto Centurion, but not before taking a ton of damage. Nasmus trying to get one extra auto attack. Ooh, Tassadar will survive for now. Hacho may not be so lucky though, and ETC is going to go down as first blood. Porky remaining in the off lane, trying to get that level advantage. They really want to find that level 10 first, but it looks like Team Exodia have taken control of this shrine. And without the tank Hacho, not going to be able to push into this too much. Centurion throwing in some shock rays, trying to slow the progress of Team Exodia. E-Kevin has retreated to the bottom lane, really pressing that XP advantage here for Team Exodia. Or catching up on the XP advantage that was picked up by Porky. As Porky coming on the outside, a triple stun by Red Robot. Uses the Indomitable once again, but Indomitable's not going to get you through a force wall. Garrosh kind of out on an island here, trying to throw out the stuns and escape. There's a lot of damage coming out, and there's the body blocks, and it looks like Garrosh will be going down next. Nasmus using the Cataclysm to come on in. Counter kill onto ETC, so that's both tanks down. Nasmus being targeted by ReGen in the top lane. Unaverted and Valimar have been pushed out, though, so there's not too far for Centurion to go. Tassadar will be the next to fall. Unaverted trying to escape, uses the Vault of the Wardens, but will be taken out as well, and Team Exodia got the better of that exchange. They've now caught up on that XP and then some. About a third of a level ahead now. As Valimar trying to push back Sylvanas here best a Deckard can. Here comes the Arcane Punisher. Going to be pushing down the top lane. We see Deathwing and Leoric have retreated to the mid. They're going to be working on that double soak rotation. And the rest of Team Exodia are going to be pushing alongside this Punisher. Top fort will be given away here by ReGen, not wanting to give away any kills and give any more ground than they need to. Level 10 has arrived for Exodia. We do have the Silence from Malfurion. We do have the Burn Beneath My Shadow from the Deathwing. It's going to be the taunt from Garrosh, the Deafening Arrow from Sylvanas, and Taika's still thinking about it as the Arcane Punisher jumps over that keep wall. Cookie Man turning off the towers for now, trying to reduce the damage onto the Punisher as much as possible. Unaverted gets taunted here. That's a lot of CC going out onto Maiev. Red Robot a little bit stuck here. Peeling for the rest of the squad. Looks like Garrosh giving his life to allow the rest of Team Exodia to retreat. And that's a pretty good first Punisher here. Oh, we got a big Entomb in the mid lane, catching Hots. Malfurion gets the silence off, but it won't be enough. It will be the Draken Laser Drill coming down. The counter kill onto ETC as well. Valimar catches 2 in the big sleep. Sylvanas is going to go down. E-Kevin is going to be next. And ReGen turning this thing around. Porky finding a really big Entomb there in the mid lane. And all of a sudden, the XP lead is wrested back by ReGen. Taking a look at the ults of ReGen. We do have the Entomb, the Mosh Pit, the Stay a While and Listen. It is going to be the Warden's Cage coming out for Maiev and the Archon from Tassadar. So nothing too crazy there. Nice camp steal here by ReGen. Nasmus not able to rotate in time, but will be slowing down Leoric here, forcing out the Wraith Walk from Porky. There's the stun from Red Robot. Porky could be in a little bit of trouble here. There's a taunt onto 2. Having to use the Unstoppable there is Porky is going to get away. Unaverted and Valimar trying to control the space in this bottom lane, and it looks like ReGen will get out of there just fine. So ReGen gets the camp steal, but they're going to give away the neutral Khazra camp here, and they won't really have the opportunity to start their own camp without too much, without being challenged here. Unaverted and Hotcho are going to give it a shot. It looks like Team Exodia are going to choose to push this bottom lane, take out this wall. That should give ReGen the opportunity to grab this camp and come on down for the defense. That's Black Arrow from Cookie Man as they rotate through that bottom corridor. Porky looking to upset the rotations of Exodia while the rest of ReGen catches up this lane. There's an Entomb onto 3 by Porky. Can the rest of ReGen catch up? Deathwing throwing off those Skyfalls, and Porky will go down for it. Unfortunately, ReGen was trapped behind that wave. A very nice Entomb onto 3. But Porky will have to ghost around a little bit before coming back onto the battlefield. Hotcho trying to catch this XP in the bottom lane versus Cookie Man. The rest of the squad meeting in the mid lane. Nasmus checking out the Shaman camp. Maiev having to retreat there. Centurion thrown in and taunted by Red Robot. And that's another kill onto Tassadar. Nicely executed there by Team Exodia. And Exodia is going to take the opportunity to push down this mid fort. Shrine activating in the middle lane. It is a Frozen Punisher. So that will be turning off structures and throwing out roots. Unaverted looking for a possible pull there. Will not find one as the Shade of Maiev goes out. Tassadar will be back for this objective. Both teams now working on their Shaman camp. Actually, ReGen retreating for now. Team Exodia going to work on their Shaman camp in the top right. Red Robot taking a look here, but Hotcho and Valimar, they're still nowhere to be found here. Centurion rotating towards Nasmus. Red Robot sees Tassadar. There's the stun over the wall here. Valimar coming around to help. Centurion is kind of pinched here. Hotcho and Valimar trying to help out. Looks like the Ruby and the Potions of Deckard will be enough. Here comes the rest of Team Exodia, though, and it looks like we've got a fight around this camp. There's the silence onto Maiev. Leoric is going to go down first. Chased by Tychus in the top lane, but Kevin coming around for the rotate now. Maiev will go down next. And Team Exodia, with a successful invade there, was kind of a staggered invasion. Both teams playing around with the vision. But with 2 dead, Team Exodia are going to work on this Shaman camp and retreat back to this shrine. That's a double Shaman camp push in the top lane that Porky's going to have to deal with when returning to the battlefield. Here we see Exodia has now activated the Frozen Shrine, looking for another kill onto Leoric. Is that enough damage? Porky just can't take the heat. And will go down to the gank once again. That's going to force Tassadar to try to clear out that top lane, and the rest of ReGen is going to go ahead and split off and seek level 16 here. Taking a quick look back at that XP screen, now 8,000 hero kill experience for Team Exodia, with those 10 kills and a little less than 4,000 for ReGen. Though very much ahead on the minions. The hero kill XP is starting to catch up here. ReGen now back on the battlefield, looking for a possible way in, but it is a little bit too late for this objective. It looks like Team Exodia are going to pause this out at 39, and now they're going to go ahead. They were waiting for that Khazra camp capture in the bottom lane, and we're going to have a Frozen Punisher pushing down the mid lane here. Nice Wraith Walk there by Porky, baiting the jump of the Punisher. ReGen about to have level 16, so they will be on even talent tiers by the time that Team Exodia crashes into the keep wall, as we see the map completely painted red by Team Exodia. 16 has arrived for ReGen. We've got a Punisher and a full push here from Team Exodia. The towers are turned off by the Black Arrows and the Frozen Punisher. Punisher being burned down here, going to be going down before this wall. Looks like Team Exodia are going to rotate down and try to grab that bottom fort and get that trickle XP started on their way to level 20. Bottom fort will be taken basically for free here. Red Robot looking to stay out of sight for now. Centurion sees Red Robot. Unaverted looking to engage here. The throw and the double stun, a triple taunt by Red Robot, along with the silencing arrow from Sylvanas, and that's 2 dead. The DPS of ReGen taken out by a flanking Garrosh there. Very nicely done by Red Robot. They're not done, though. The Wraithwalk is up for Porky, and will manage to get away. Not quite enough damage with the Tychus off in the mid lane, chasing the remnants of ReGen. And with 2 dead, the Black Arrows are up. Team Exodia gonna take this mid keep. There it goes. We are now 6-2 on these structures. That's going to be very difficult for ReGen to start catching up in XP. The more trickle XP, the more passive XP going over to Team Exodia with these structure kills, the faster they're going to get to level 20 in relation to ReGen. ReGen going to have to be careful not to push out their lanes too much. They want this XP crashing into their walls to try to catch up on this lead via minion XP, as we see Porky clearing out the minion waves and letting that catapult push on forward. Red Robot going to go ahead and start up the Shaman camp here for Team Exodia. Nasmus and Cookie Man going to help out with the damage. The rest of ReGen just trying to get these lanes cleared, but not pushed in too hard. So we see E. Kevin and Hots sharking around here. I believe Porky's still out of sight in this top lane. At this point, ReGen's got to be very careful of the rotations of Team Exodia, as we see Cookie Man working on this Khazra camp solo. Porky, another possible gank attempt onto Leoric, but the very long Wraith Walk is going to get out of there just fine. Valimar and Hotcho were ready for the assist. Nasmus trying to evade the rest of ReGen here. There's the stun onto Red Robot. Using the Indomitable is Garrosh, getting away from the sleep of Valimar, and Tomb cutting off the retreat of Nasmus. That's a lot of ults down here for ReGen. The Entomb and the Stay a While and Listen are down. Cataclysm used by Nasmus, and now ReGen is on the retreat. Red Robot can't find the stun. Vault of the Wardens is good by Unaverted. There's the root onto ETC, but no follow-up to be found. So ReGen will be surviving for the meantime, but level 20 about to be here for Team Exodia, as we see the Mortar Punisher going to be spawning in the bottom lane. Hotcho and crew trying to clear out this mid lane in preparation for the objective, but they're going to have to deal with yet another Khazra camp barreling down their mid lane. See Unaverted working on the Shaman camp for ReGen. Red Robot looking to control the rotations here in this event. And the rest of the squad, well, they're just clearing away these minions. They want to get this Mortar Punisher pushing as quickly as possible. Porky pushing away in the top lane, trying to catch that level 20 as quickly as possible, as we see Centurion in the bottom lane. It looks like ReGen going to have to go ahead and give this Punisher and look for another defense here. Red Robot is dug in way deep here, will not have the vision, relying on his team to scout out the rest of ReGen. No rotations to be found. Red Robot will join the rest of the squad. Leoric moving right behind the fort in the top lane, going to go ahead and try to proxy this wave and bait out the Skyfalls of Nasmus. We see Deathwing going to head on down to the bottom lane, could not interrupt the back of Porky any longer. Unaverted avoiding the stun of this Mortar Punisher. Red Robot looking for a throw target, though, as Nasmus going straight in. Sylvanas has turned off this fort. Level 20. Still not quite here, though. There's the Unstoppable onto Leoric. Nasmus is going in again, Unaverted, taking some damage there from Cookie Man on the outside. Centurion has popped the Archon, trying to burn down this Punisher, but we're at 75% on the core. Leoric goes down first, 68% on the core. Unaverted and Hotcho being pushed away by E. Kevin and Sylvanas. Core down to 35, and it looks like Team Exodia are going to pick up this game number 1. GG. All right, taking a look at the post-game screen. Team Exodia, 13 kills to 5 there. Doing a very good job of controlling that map, using the Garrosh to the... piloting Garrosh to the first win for either of these teams on Garrosh here in this series. Maybe he's a little bit higher priority than I expected. As we see Cookie Man on the Sylvanas coming ahead on the hero damage, 51,000 towards ReGen. Maiev, played by Unaverted, dealing the 32k. Very nicely done from our two squads. We'll take a quick look at the talent screen before we head to the break. All right, game number 1 is in the books. Team Exodia up 1-0 here over ReGen. We're going to get ready for game number 2, but before that, we've got a couple of quick messages, and we will be back soon. Don't go far. Alrighty, game number 2 is upon us. We are getting set and getting ready to go. Team Exodia picking up the first win of this series, and as you just heard, we're going to be heading to Towers of Doom. Before we jump into the draft, let me quickly remind you of the map situation. Dragonshire, Alterac Pass, Volskaya Foundry, and Hanamura Temple are banned away for today's series. Team Exodia took us to Infernal Shrines and picked up the first victory, and now Team Exodia will be taking us to Towers of Doom for game number 2. Let's jump right into the draft and see what our two teams can do. I was about to say, Towers of Doom is one of those maps where you've got to think about those funky heroes like the Lost Vikings. ReGen is going to take that right off the board. We'll see what else is going to be banned away. Maybe some Abathurs, maybe some Samuros that can do some big work here on Towers. Team Exodia going to take away the Junkrat once again here. Not too surprising there. Junkrat in the hands of masters like these guys is just, it's just beautiful to see. Really amazing stuff as we see Sylvanas banned away by ReGen. Interested to see whether ETC will make it through here. Team Exodia with the very bold no ban in the last series. They've got ETC to think about. They've got Ana to think about. See what they're thinking here. They're still gonna be taking away the Chromie. Chromie can get some extra work done here on Towers, to be fair, as Centurion immediately snaps up Abathur. No question at all. So we're gonna see some funky business. It's usually banned away here on Towers, but now you get to see it. You get to see a Storm Division Abathur do their thing. That leaves ETC open to Team Exodia should they choose to take it. Ana also still available. Though Garrosh went pretty well for them last time. It's going to be Garrosh again, and Cookie Man is going to take a very early Medivh here. Interesting stuff. Medivh, I don't see a whole lot of Medivh, but again, sort of a Towers of Doom thing. Medivh can do some really good work around the death zone, being able to rotate past that geography that would normally kill you if you tried to walk around. So some really cool picks here coming out as we see Valimar is going to grab Lucio and Hotcho going to be on the Tyrael. Speaking of tanks that can get themselves out of trouble, Tyrael is absolutely one of them. The throws and taunts onto Tyrael, not going to be quite as effective here. And also, pretty good hat target for Abathur. Next band coming out from Team Exodia, we've got the Lucio, we've got the Tyrael, we've got the Abathur. They've got to be thinking about taking some damage off the board here. It's going to be Samuro. Abathur Samuro, a pretty Pretty potent little combination. Especially for a slow push that you can pull off here on towers to go for that late game 6 cap. So we won't see that combo today. ReGen, thinking about what they want to ban away here. We've got the Medivh and the Garrosh already taken care of. Will it be a Kerosene ban? No, they're actually going to ban away E-Kevin's Tychus. Gonna try to put E-Kevin onto another hero here. I believe they've played Raynor before? Yeah. So, E-Kevin may default to the Raynor, or maybe see something else entirely here coming out from the Team Exodia DPS player. But Team Exodia is next to act. We'll see if they want to, what sort of damage they want to pick up here on Towers of Doom. Nasmus is going to be laning as the Blaze, and Hot's going to be taking that Deckard Cain. So no Deathwing today, or no Deathwing again here for Nasmus. ReGen, they've got to think about who they want to throw at that Garrosh, how they want to counter this Medivh. Unaverted is going to snap up the Cassia here. And Porky is going to be playing Illidan. Well, I believe that is our first Illidan of the Storm Division. We were talking about Abathur hat targets, and Samuro is one of them. Illidan, absolutely another. Can be able to do some big work alongside Tyrael here for ReGen. E-Kevin, thinking about the last spot here. Has got to bring the noise on the damage front, absolutely. And it's going to be Sergeant Hammer coming out from Team Exodia. Well, well, well. We've got quite the draft here, folks. Oh my goodness. Unbelievable. I have no idea how I'm going to call this matchup. This is going to be crazy. All right, well, ReGen looking to even up this series. Team Exodia looking to go up 2-0. Let's get ready here for Towers of Doom. Here we go. Well, oh well, oh well. Goodness me. Well, there's going to be a lot of outplay situations. There's going to be a lot of skirmishing from our two squads. Definitely not your standard siege up and go, though. You know, siege up and go may be the play here for Team Exodia. But we've definitely got a sort of helter-skelter style coming out here from ReGen. Let's get ready for game number 2. Once again, on the left in the blue, we have ReGen with Unaverted playing the Cassia, Valimar on the Lucio, Porky playing Illidan, Hotcho on the Tyrael, and Centurion on the Abathur. On the right in the red, we have Team Exodia with E-Kevin playing the Sergeant Hammer, Red Robot playing Garrosh, Nasmus on the Blaze, Hots playing the Deckard, and Cookie Man on the Medivh.
5, 4, 3.
Here we go. Towers of Doom is underway.
Battle begin.
Cassia rotating around, keeping an eye on that bottom lane. Abathur going to post up in the mid for now. If you're just coming in from Arrow's stream, welcome. We are getting into game number 2 here between ReGen and Team Exodia, and we've got quite the little draft, so you got a real treat today. Nasmus looking for the stun onto Porky in tower range, instead getting it onto Lucio. And it looks like Sergeant Hammer is going to post right up in this top lane and force a response here from ReGen. Cassia caught out of position there, is going to have to rotate up to the top lane. There's the action onto E-Kevin. Hotcho being thrown away by Red Robot, and Team Exodia are on the retreat. But is it going to be enough? There's the hard style by Lucio trying to get the slow. Will not be enough. Escape. Sergeant Hammer will go down as first blood. ReGen will peel on out of there. Abathur still posting up in the mid lane. Will be heading down to the bottom lane, try to grab this XP as ReGen is going to try to counter this push a little bit by taking the top camp. Cassia working on the left side camp for ReGen. Blaze over on the right for Team Exodia. And this is going to be a real tough one to observe because these teams are all over the map right now. See Abathur soaking down in the bottom lane. Valimar spots E-Kevin on the rotation, forces Hammer to head on back to the mid. And Porky is going to be pushing alongside this camp, prioritizing the top lane here, as both squads pick up their bottom side sapper camps. Things are starting to look a little bit more standard now, as both teams congregating in the bottom lane. It's going to be Illidan versus Blaze on the rotation. The 3 versus, well, 3.5 versus 4 here, with Abathur throwing out the hats, as Abathur's actually going to head to the top lane there. Hacho with a very nice Eldruin's Might teleport, avoiding the stun of Garrosh. But Team Exodia gets Sergeant Hammer up to the wall, and we're going to see what ReGen can do about it. One sapper crashing on in. Valimar trying to keep some extra damage onto E-Kevin, but is forced away by those big auto attacks. Another stun there by Red Robot that gets to throw. Hacho moving on in to absorb that throw. Tyrael peeling away here, unaverted, staying healthy next to the Lucio. Porky here on the chase. The Medivh portal is out, but is it going to be enough? It looks like yes, Team Exodia will back on out of there. Abathur helping with the soak for now. Porky going to start heading back to the lanes here. The triple altar phase coming up now. Cookie Man keeping an eye on things on that Medivh. Looking for a right side cap here is Porky. It looks like Nasmus is going to get here in time. Abathur working on that left side cap. And we're going to have a showdown here in the bottom lane. There's the throw onto Valimar. Once again, Lucio scooting on through. Illidan trying to chase away Blaze in the mid lane. There's the stun there by Red Robot. ReGen trying to keep this fight going on as long as possible, but E-Kevin is creeping ever closer. And it looks like ReGen will have to give this bottom shrine. Top right still available to be taken. Nasmus and Porky in a stalemate there. Cookie Man manages to go back into Raven form before being dismounted. Hacho ready to warp on out of there and will do so. Medivh heading up on to help Blaze, and it looks like Porky will have to retreat up there. As Medivh searching for Centurion. And that's 2 caps for Team Exodia in this opening rotation. Both teams achieving level 7 pretty much at the same time here. Very even on the XP so far. Let's check in on that. It looks like ReGen is ahead on the... Actually getting a little bit of a jump there as we see the minion XP starting to go over to ReGen. They've got that 1 hero kill. They've got that 1 extra minion cap. Porky coming on in for the rotation. Red Robot getting a nice throw there. Able to peel away for the rest of Team Exodia. Right now, checking in on those Medivh stacks, we've got 26 out of 40 on that baseline Arcane Rift quest. Hacho going to take the opportunity to back and get full mana, as the rest of ReGen going to work on this Sapper camp. Team Exodia doing the same here. Grabbing the Sapper camp on the right. Nice little back there by Tyrael. Well timed. Red Robot is discovered in the in that sight bush. The Sapper camps are taken on both sides here. Boss has now entered the battlefield. We'll see if it's ever taken this game. Hacho ready to warp on out of there. Unaverted, moving ahead to get some damage, being blasted out there by E-Kevin. Both teams going to work to clear these Sappers as we have a double spawn in the bottom lane for the next objective. This throw onto Valimar is good. That's a big piece of damage. The rest of Team Exodia is on the chase, but it looks like Valimar, just a little too quick, will escape. And this is where we start to see Medivh really enabling the movement here for this otherwise mostly immobile comp. Being able to rotate on that gank attempt, head right back to lane. There's the throw onto Porky. Has to use the medallion, trying to do the friendly dash onto Valimar, and it looks like they're going to get away just fine. And ReGen picks up that bottom shrine. Overall, a great trade there coming out for ReGen. I don't know if ReGen's going to be able to stop Nasmus, though. Nice job by Red Robot getting the throw onto Lucio. And it's going to be a trade on this objective. 32 shots to 28 here for Team Exodia, but level 10 has arrived for ReGen. We do see the sound barrier coming out for Lucio, the sanctification from Tyrael, ultimate evolution on the Abathur, the Valkyrie coming out for the Cassia, and metamorphosis for the Illidan, using that escape heroic to evade the ganks. Level 10 also here for Team Exodia. We've got the Leyline Seal for Medivh, the taunt from Garrosh, the napalm strike from Sergeant Hammer. Stay a while and listen from Deckard. Here comes Porky once again trying to put some pressure onto the members of Team Exodia. But Medivh is there. Ooh, getting blasted away a little bit there by Valimar. But will get healed up by those Deckard potions and be just fine. It is Bunker coming out for Blaze, the last heroic there for Team Exodia. Viper Hot's coming in with the raid, joining the party here. Welcome to game number 2 between ReGen and Team Exodia. We've got quite the couple of drafts here for you, as Porky is looking to rotate once again. Is going to be caught by those Sergeant Hammer mines, and we'll have to rotate on out of there. We do see the ambush has been picked up for Kevin. Blind onto Sergeant Hammer is good. Hot Show is on the chase. Unaverted coming in with the Surge of Light. Taunt onto Cassia, has to use the Gladiator's Medallion, and Cassia's going to go down here. Hot's catching Hot Show in a sleep. Nice stun there by Red Robot. Tyrael still at half health here, using the Warp on Eldruin's Might to get away. Porky manages to get out of there with the Hearth. Very, very close there. Red Robot almost had the interrupt. But now Kevin is on the bottom fort. We do have a single objective spawn in the bottom lane. This is the best possible spot here for Team Exodia. Looks like Valimar's going to be harassing Hots there. Porky using the Metamorphosis to get away from the rest of Team Exodia here. Valimar looking to get the cap here, but will be denied by Hots once again. We see ReGen is on the chase here. Cookie Man a little bit low here. He has to pop the ley line. It looks like we've got a big taunt here onto Illidan. Everyone's still looking very low here. The ultimate evolution of Centurion goes down. ReGen is on the retreat. Valimar trying to push back Nasmus. It looks like ReGen... Ooh, the double stun from Nasmus is there. Red Robot gets the throw onto Unaverted. The root will not land, and somehow ReGen survives the onslaught there from Team Exodia. Very, very nicely done. However, that's going to be another objective. Finally picked up there by Team Exodia. Porky once again pushing into Kevin, trying to get Sergeant Hammer away from this fort. But that hover siege makes it a very, very difficult proposition. Unaverted going for the reveal, but the boosters put on and Sergeant Hammer will get away. Both teams got to think about their sapper camps here. Kevin once again scouting that bush. ReGen looking for an invade here. Valimar and Unaverted watching their flank run. Hot Show being thrown in by Red Robot. Porky's staying on top of this camp. Deckard splitting off Unaverted. Can ReGen take this? Oh, there's the holy ground. And this is where Tyrael's going to start to really show the worth. Oh, it's two people continue to be controlled. There's the sleep, there's the ley line, the follow-up stun, the taunt is there. Valimar gets the sound barrier as Unaverted is dealing big, big damage in the bottom lane. The bunker saving the rest of Exodia for now as they're all popping in and out of this bunker. Porky trying to finish off Deckard. Kane is... Hots is going to go down. Sanctification keeping the rest of ReGen alive somehow. Porky continues to survive. It looks like Tyrael may not be so lucky. Porky trying to keep those auto attacks up. Oh, Medivh's going to go down to the Tyrael death trait. And that is a 2-for-1 for ReGen. Unbelievable stuff. There's so many members low on both sides. Red Robot looking for the throw onto Unaverted will not quite get in range. As ReGen looking for any sort of opportunity to push onto this fort, but they're going to have to wait for the heals of Valimar. Porky trying to pick up this altar. Looks like Kevin will not be able to get there in time, and ReGen is going to start to even the score now with another shrine capture. Checking in on the top lane, looks like Centurion just having a chill time versus Nasmus up here, keeping an eye on the mini-map, grabbing that XP. So both teams still very even on experience so far. ReGen picking up the sapper camp once again. Porky is once again thrown. Manages to flip over Red Robot. Oh, the sound barrier is baited out. ReGen's going to have to try to move forward. The Valkyrie is denied by the unstoppable of Sergeant Hammer. And that sound barrier down for 65 seconds here. We'll see if Team Exodia can find a way to push in, knowing that that heroic is down. Looks like ReGen aren't afraid, though. They're going to push right in. Kevin with the blast to get everyone back. Deckard gets the root onto 2. Red Robot pushed away from the portal, but will manage to get away. And now the chase is going in reverse. Unaverted manages to mount up, but Red Robot isn't quite done. Looks like they will back off for now, as both teams now getting level 16. I said level 16! There it is. Porky looking for the flank once again here, as Kevin creeping ever closer to this bottom fort. Porky forcing Sergeant Hammer back, putting those boosters out once again. Red Robot throwing Hot Show onto Unaverted for the double stun. Portal available as Cookie Man going in for the harass. Nasmus rotating down, gets the triple stun once again. Valkyrie out, catches Medivh. Cookie Man trying to retreat here. There's the Metamorphosis and the Invulnerable coming out from Tyrael. Porky once again thrown in, but it looks like, oh, a huge sleep from Hots is going to catch Tyrael. Porky going in once again. The death trait is good. Red Robot keeping the rest of ReGen at bay, though. It looks like Centurion, the ultimate evolution clone, is going to go down. Leyline is out, but I don't know if that's going to be enough to stop the retreat here of ReGen, as Tyrael really cut down on that death time, catching 3 in that explosion. Abathur was looking for a quick back cap, trying to escape from Nasmus here. There's the slow, but Valimar coming up to help. Porky looking for a quick back tab. I don't think Red Robot's going to get there in time, and there's a cheeky little steal there from Porky. Very nicely done. The taunt is out. Is that going to be enough to take out the Illidan? Yes, it will be. Porky's going to go down here. Very nice chase there by Team Exodia. Red Robot's not done. Gets the throw here onto Cassia, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Lucio is there to help out. Unbelievable. These teams are just trading blows back and forth. Nasmus once again trying to find Abathur. The jet propulsion is good. I don't think Centurion's going to get out of there this time. Hacho coming down to try to help. The Holy Ground is good. There's the bunker. Oh my goodness. Centurion wiggles out of another tough gank again. Nasmus doing all they can to try to destroy the slug. But not even Salt can slow down this Zerg. ReGen once again working on the Sapper Camp. Red Robot rotating to the mid lane. Kevin working on softening up this mid lane fort. As we see Nasmus heading to the top lane, try to get that lane sorted out. ReGen takes their Sapper Camp, and they're going to think about an invade here. As we see the camp now started here by Kevin. Red Robot throwing away the members of ReGen. Cookie Man with the good portal, and it looks like they're going to have to back off here. The Holy Ground will be available. Hacho coming in. They know they're not going to be able to take it over that Holy Ground, so they're just going to have to give up this camp. Porky caught in deep versus Kevin. Medivh going in for the Q. Is that going to be enough? Oh, a nice Metamorphosis dodge. There's the sound barrier coming out from Valimar. Is that going to be enough? Kevin trying to get away. Sergeant Hammer's going to go down. Somehow, some way, Illidan surviving here. May not be for long, though, as the bunker hides Nasmus, and the damage putting away Porky. That's 1 for 1 for now. Red Robot trying to escape here, though. Whoa, very nice slide. The taunt, will it be enough? Red Robot gonna go down. That's 2 kills for ReGen. And they're not done. There's the stun from Nasmus trying to push away the clone Centurion. Is that going to be enough damage onto Cookie Man? Oh, not quite. The ultimate evolution will expire. Unaverted is interrupted by Nasmus. Hot Show looking for the back cap as Tyrael coming to the top lane. Valimar trying to keep this objective interrupted. Tyrael actually coming straight across here for the fight. Cookie Man warping in. Medivh very low health here. That's a very short portal. Cookie Man is going to go down here. Hots is being body blocked. Could be next. Nasmus does not connect on the jet propulsion. There's the Valkyrie. Catches Kevin. Oh, a big sleep from Hots. Silencing all 3 members of ReGen. But it looks like ReGen going to be just fine for now. Lucio keeping everyone nice and healthy. Kevin looking to use those napalm strikes to interrupt the tip of the... Sorry, the tip of the route there will be enough, and it looks like Team Exodia gonna push onto this point. But I don't know if ReGen is done. There's the taunt onto 2. Valimar trying to skate on out of there. The sound barrier is good. Oh, a fantastic slide, and Garrosh is gonna go down. Hots is being keyed on by the rest of ReGen, and Deckard Cain will follow. Valimar trying to get away from Nasmus here. Kevin could be next. Unaverted and Hotcho are on the chase. That's Hammer going down. Nasmus gets the stun onto Porky, trying to escape under this fort. Unaverted is there as well. Is there going to be a full wipe? Porky, somehow still alive, is finally going to go down. Nasmus somehow staying alive for long enough to make sure that those towers got the counter kill. And Cookie Man is back on the field already, throwing out those Qs. Did manage to finish the quest before any deaths. But ReGen picking up both of those altars. It's going to go up 20-12 here. Ooh, the Valkyrie will not quite connect onto Cookie Man. That could have possibly been a kill there by Unaverted and Valimar. Top lane very weak here. ReGen looking to push that lane. Bottom lane, although, being pushed in by this wave. But the Mule of Abathur, very, very effective here in denying that progress. Top 4 taken out by ReGen. Medivh trying to keep an eye on this Sapper camp, trying to find Centurion here. Medivh finding the Abathur. Will Centurion wake up in time? No, Abathur's actually going to go down. Cookie Man is on the retreat, has to use that portal. I don't think Medivh may make it out of here. Medivh cheats on 20, will stop the chasing Lucio. Hotcho trying to find the block with the Holy Ground and will not do it. That forces the ley line out from Medivh, though. 70 seconds till we're going to see that again. Kevin pushing back the members of ReGen. We have a single altar spawn in the bottom lane. ReGen, without Abathur, going to be a little more reticent to take this fight as we see Nasmus rotating down for a possible back tap. Valkyrie out once again is going to catch Deckard. The protect bubble from Medivh is good. Hotcho popping the Sanctification. ReGen wants to keep going in here. The sleep catches Tyrael, but is quickly woken up. Red Robot going straight in here, very low health. Hotcho is on the chase. There's the Metamorphosis trying to stop Red Robot. The sound barrier out from Lucio, and ReGen is on the chase. Nasmus, using that armor to try to stay up, is blinded by Cassia, has to pop the bunker. And Red Robot coming in, forcing back the members of ReGen. Both teams ignoring the objective for now. That's a lot of damage onto Medivh. Nasmus slowing down the remaining members of ReGen. Red Robot with the double throw and stun. The double throw once again. There's the taunt onto Porky, and Illidan's going to go down. The ley line out once again is going to find Hotcho. Unaverted, being blasted away by Kevin, trying to find Cookie Man in the backline. Is going to kill Sergeant Hammer. It's a double kill for Unaverted before being taken out by the fort. And ReGen... Oh, Valimar. Valimar is going to be able to capture it. Hotcho is now on the hot retreat. And somehow ReGen, after losing 2 members, Unaverted picks up the double kill, and ReGen picks up the altar. 20-7 on these shots. Unbelievable stuff. Nasmus going to pop that Adrenaline Burst to help clear out this top lane. Red Robot and Hots trying to get some progress on this bottom lane, but once again, the Mule of Abathur just keeping this fort topped off. Team Exodia going to go ahead and pick up their Sapper camp. At least make Abathur work for it here. So we see Nasmus still working on this top fort. Abathur safely in the middle lane there. Valimar and Hotcho could not get there in time. They're going to have to go ahead and clear away this Sapper camp with the help of the Abathur hat. ReGen in a pretty good position here. They've got bottom fort very softened up. Nasmus still working on taking back top fort. And the Sappers are going to be going down the bottom lane here for ReGen.
Red team has destroyed the
We're back onto even structures for the time being. Porky once again looking for the flank, but will be spotted by Cookie Man. It's going to be a double altar spawn here. If ReGen can pick up some kills here, they might be able to just end the game right now. Porky going in onto Kevin, trying to find the body blocks. The Unstoppable is there. It's going to be enough. Sergeant Hammer's going to go down before Nasmus can pick up the stun. Unaverted trying to get the flanks here. Metamorphosis is in, and it looks like they're in it to win it. Stay a while and listen is denied. Hotcho being thrown under the keep range, though. This could be trouble. The sound barrier is good, though. Cookie Man taking so much damage. The mid ley line will not be enough. And that's 2 kills here for ReGen. Porky is unable to be denied. Nasmus on the retreat. Red Robot and Hots having to flank around here. Cassia going to pick up this bottom altar, and this looks like it could be game. Red Robot, Hots, and Nasmus have to delay this for another at least 30 seconds here. The fight is on. Unaverted is coming back up, and this is looking like the end. Nasmus blocked in by the Holy Ground, trying to pick up those rubies, but Blaze is going to go down here. Hots is caught by Porky in the top lane, trying to stay alive using those potions. Sergeant Hammer back on the field here. Hots, oh, these rubies are just doing so much work. Looks like Red Robot may be the next target here for Regen, but again, those ruby potions just so good. Valkyrie will not catch Hots. Porky is in, and the Deckard Cain is going to fall. Kevin just now back on the field, going to fall once again. Red Robot still making things interesting. As Medivh is now flying back to the field. Team Exodia, they're not done just yet. Here comes Medivh. They want to find Red Robot here. Does manage to get into the portal, but the tap is there, and Regen picks up the victory, tying up this series 1-1. GG. Well, oh well. Regen with the very unorthodox comp there into the Medivh Hammer comp comes out victorious. 17 kills to 9 for Regen. Unaverted on the Cassia, dealing 136,000 hero damage in that 23-minute game. And Kevin on the Hammer, dealing out the pain as well with the 103,000 hero damage. Really just fantastic moves from both squads. A lot of outplay potential, but the Illidan Abathur hat with the Tyrael support, Valamar's sound barriers on point every time. Well, except for maybe that one in the mid-game. But pretty much every time, just doing fantastic work, and Regen is going to pick up the win and even up this series 1-1. All right, we are tied up. Regen bringing things back. 1-1 versus Team Exodia. We're going to go to the break, and when we come back, it's going to be game number 3. Don't go away. All right, short break. These teams are rearing and ready to go. Welcome to game number 3 between Regen and Team Exodia. We are evened up here, and we're going to be heading into our next game in just a moment. There it is. Battlefield of Eternity is the map. Let's take a quick moment to remind you of the map state of this series. Dragonshire, Alterac Pass, Volskaya Foundry, and Hanamura Temple are banned out today. Infernal Shrines was won by Team Exodia in game number 1, but Regen bouncing back with the win on Towers of Doom. And now Regen will be taking us to Battlefield of Eternity for game number 3. Let's jump into that draft and see what we will see. First pick this time going over to Team Exodia, switching it up from the first 2 games. Diablo going to catch the first action of the series, banned away here by Team Exodia, and we see Li Ming banned away by Regen. Diablo can absolutely do some work here on Battlefield, so much terrain to work with, so much vision to play around with. And Li Ming, probably the most prolific, long-term poke and race hero here on Battlefield of Eternity. Not at all surprised to see Regen ban that away. Team Exodia, next to act here, is going to take away the Rainer. So they just want to make sure that the long-range burn potential is at a minimum to these two teams. And the Respect ban onto Garrosh coming out from Regen. So we've got a lot of interesting heroes open, including the Chromie is immediately snapped up by Cookie Man. We've got Ana, we've got Junkrat, we've got ETC, we've got all sorts of top-tier, highly sought-after heroes. But it is Battlefield of Eternity. It's a different sort of map. We'll see what Regen wants to pick up here. Taking a look at their picks, is there anything that might give it away? The Hanzo. Hanzo has been played by Unaverted. Actually gonna play the Greymane, and Porky choosing to pick up the Ana. I mentioned at the beginning of the series about how I thought maybe Greymane would go mostly unnoticed here in this series, but Unaverted here on Battlefield, Greymane Can absolutely do some work, especially with the options being whittled away here with Li Ming and Raynor already off the board. Next two picks going over to Team Exodia. They've got the much sought after Chromie. They're going to get their Karazim along with ETC. Alright, well, we've got quite the stack over there on Team Exodia so far. 3 highly sought after heroes, at least by their squad. 3 highly banned heroes, or at least two highly banned heroes here in the Chromie and the ETC. But Ana going over to ReGen. We'll see what they want to ban away here for their third ban. It's going to be the Yrel. Yrel, very strong presence in that top lane. Not a lot of poor matchups. I'm not sure there's any poor matchups for Yrel, to be honest. She's just a great hero. Even with those double Dauntless nerfs, still doing fantastic. Team Exodia thinking about their next ban. Now they gotta be thinking about what ReGen wants to do alongside that Ana, as we see Sylvanas banned away. Fantastic. That notice is a little loud in my ear. Oh boy. I didn't look over quick enough to see what it was. Whatever it was, thank you very much for your contribution to the channel. Hope that's not too crazy loud in everyone else's ears, but I feel like it might be. Valimar, interestingly enough, is going to be on the Imperius, and Centurion is going to play some Alarak for us today. I'm getting the feeling that Porky and Valimar may be switching up here. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Team Exodia, thinking about their last 2 picks. They've got quite the draft brewing here. We'll see how they want to round this out. It is going to be Samuro from Nasmus, and Kevin is going to be playing the Hanzo today. I gotta think this is pretty much exactly how they drew up this Battlefield of Eternity. Because there's a lot of contested picks here, a lot of fantastic choices. But we've got some interesting stuff coming out from ReGen as well with the Imperius Alarak combination. That's going to be tough to avoid, tough to get out of. We'll see how Hotcho wants to balance out this draft. It is going to be an Uther on the front lines. Gonna take a quick look. I'm guessing they're gonna switch. Or is Porky the player? Nah, they're gonna switch that up. They're gonna switch that up. How did I know? Alright, well. We've got the Uther Imperius frontline for ReGen versus the flighty Chromie Samuro Hanzo comp. We'll see whether they can catch their prey here as we head into game number 3. It's ReGen versus Team Exodia. Here we go. Alright, game number 3. Taking a look at these drafts. We've got a very heavy catch and kill comp coming in from ReGen, and we've got a very slippery run around the edges comp for Team Exodia. We'll see who comes out ahead as we load in here to game number 3. Here we go. Alrighty, on the left in the blue is ReGen with Porky playing the Imperius, Hotcho on the Uther, Unaverted playing the Greymane, Valimar on the Ana, and Centurion playing the Alarak. On the right in the red, we have Team Exodia with Nasmus playing the Samuro, Cookieman is on the Chromie, Red Robot playing ETC, Hot's on the Karazim, and Kevin playing the Hanzo.
5, 4, 3.
Getting ready here on Battlefield of Eternity. It looks like Team Exodia is going to be pushing right up the mid and then diverting down to the bottom lane. Making sure there's no shenanigans here on game number 3. Vision control here from Team Exodia is good. There's the time stop coming out, putting out some big damage onto Hotcho, but Hot's taking a lot of damage on that Karazim. Will manage to use that dash to get away. Is going to take a quick breather. We're heading back to the battlefield. Centurion looking for a follow-up from a stun. Getting a quick silence there. As we do see, it is the ruthless momentum for Centurion. Going to want to keep that health high. Deep breathing quest from Chromie. Was nerfed recently, still very, very popular. And Uther going for those Silver Touch stacks. Likely looking at a Holy Shock type build coming out from Hot Show. Checking up in the top lane. It'll be Porky versus Nasmus up there. Samuro versus Imperius as Unaverted going straight onto Cookie Man. Relying on the team to peel. Centurion finding another silence. This time onto E. Kevin. Forcing out some well taps from Team Exodia. Both teams looking for a possible kill advantage, looking for an opportunity to jump onto that bottom camp. Oh, big Dragon's Breaths onto Valimar there. Already up to 13 stacks on this 20-stack quest. At the minute 30 mark is Cookie Man. Quick stun from Hacho there onto Red Robot. Centurion still keeping an eye on things, looking for a silence in the vent. Will not find it. Checking in again in the top lane. Looks like a pretty even matchup so far. Porky still doing fine on the health and mana. And Nasmus always has highest mana. The Samuro doesn't have any. Looks like Team Exodia going to be working on this camp first. Going to jump right in there. Hacho sees it. Red Robot keeping Valimar and Centurion busy, and it looks like ReGen will have to give that away as we see Unaverted has actually snuck away to the top lane to try to snipe this camp away from Nasmus. So we see Nasmus checking out the left side camp, but will be giving away the top side camp. Nice sneaky little play there, coming out from Unaverted. Gonna force Samuro to stay and clear that as the Immortals are spawning in about 20 seconds, and also force Team Exodia to not be able to invade this camp quite so easily. Both teams just gonna go ahead and trade away these Shaman camps. Alarak looking to clear out this initial Khazra camp, forcing the Goatman into tower range. Nasmus making short work of this camp in the top lane. The Immortals are spawning. It looks like Team Exodia is looking to put some pressure before heading into a defensive stance. Both teams looking for the defense. There's the sleep and the double silence onto E. Kevin. Big damage onto the low health pool of Hanzo. Porky looking to find the kill onto E. Kevin in the back. Will not quite find it, and Hanzo's going to have to back here. We're going to have to keep a wider view of this battlefield as the fight continues. Unaverted, trying to push in this Shaman camp, force Nasmus to remain in the bottom lane. Hot's going to keep an eye on Hot Show's rotations. And ReGen is looking for a path in. Camps are cleared away, or working on being cleared away, by Alarak in the top lane. Hot Show looking to body block Red Robot into a stun, but will not happen. Follow-up stun of their own. Ooh, there's the Imperius, putting out some big damage onto Red Robot. And it looks like Team Exodia have the damage lead for now, with those big Hanzo arrows dealing some big damage. But Unaverted is on top of the Immortal now. Cookie Man trying to force back Greymane, laying out those time traps, laying out those sandblasts. Hot Show keying onto Hots and E. Kevin, trying to force them to circle around as Unaverted is being forced off of this Immortal. Nasmus harassing Hot Show. Centurion getting the big silence onto Red Robot. Porky may not be able to get out of here. That's some big damage coming out. Forcing Ana to expend those healing darts. Hot Show now the target of E. Kevin, managing to slip in that Q, but will not get the kill. It will force ReGen to back here, and that's the halftime show for Team Exodia. Nasmus already down in the bottom lane, using those clones to push in this wave before getting on top and getting ready to burn this Immortal. ReGen gonna try to get as much of the shield taken away as possible, but this Immortal will be going over to Team Exodia, as both teams now approaching level 7. Hot Show trying to control these ReGen globes actually will be successful. ReGen gonna go ahead and grab those up. Right on brand there for the blue team. We have a full defense in the bottom lane so far. Valimar and Porky are staying off of vision. Nasmus alone in the top lane. Hot Show coming in for the rotation. They want to find these kills behind the Immortal. Red Robot managing to get the face melt before the silence landed. Very nicely timed there coming out from ETC. Porky's going to have to retreat now. Ooh, a double sleep from Ana is going to peel nicely for the Angel of Valor. Not finding the kills was ReGen. They're going to have to burn this Immortal, and Imperius is going to have to head up to the top lane to try to catch this soak and stop the push from Samuro. Unaverted diving right onto Kevin. The scatter arrow not finding the mark as Unaverted is going to escape around the top corridor. Immortal taken out here. Chromie putting some extra deep breathing damage onto the fort. Looks like Centurion doesn't know it for now. Red Robot's on the wrong side of... Centurion's in trouble. Actually uses the telekinesis to get out of there. Hot Show, and he's on top of Hanzo. Kevin is going to go down here. And that's actually first blood of this game. Unaverted taking out that time trap. There's the double sleeper mana once again. The silence onto Karazim will not last for long enough, using the Radiant Dash to get on out of there. Nasmus rotating up, down from the top lane. Looks like ReGen just going to deal with these clones. Are they going to go onto this camp, or are they going to just go ahead and back off? Nasmus trying to stay in the back line, popping those clones. Unaverted on top of this Khazra camp. Can Red Robot get here in time? The telekinesis is there. It looks like... Oh, no one touched it. Hot Show's got to get back on the point. This could be trouble for Porky. There's the stun. Imperius, uses the Impale over the wall. There's a big silence onto Nasmus. Comes back just in time, and Samuro will slink away. Very, very flighty comp here for Team Exodia. Is going to be very difficult for ReGen to lock down. Immortals are spawning in 20 seconds here. Shaman camps have rejoined the battlefield. Centurion getting a little bit of poke damage there onto Cookie Man, using those big W Dragon's Breaths, and it looks like bottom fort claimed by Team Exodia. Unaverted, Hot Show, and the rest of Team ReGen gonna work on this Shaman camp on the right. Team Exodia a little bit late to this Shaman camp on the red side. So we see Porky coming on down here. ReGen's gonna have the opportunity to push onto this Immortal with a brief level 10 advantage. Team Exodia not far behind here. Nasmus pops the Invisible. Porky in a bit of trouble here, trying to avoid the Immortal stun. Is caught in the slowing sands. Oh, Red Robot. Oh, the stun is there, and ETC's gonna go down. Avoided the angelic armaments. Oh, the Divine Shield is great onto Porky. Still none dead for ReGen. They've got the enemy tank, and it looks like they're gonna be forcing back the members of Team Exodia. Porky taking an errant sandblast. Gonna have to be careful. Oh, the go for the throat is good, and Hanzo's gonna go down here. A little bit of a bonus kill there for ReGen, and they're gonna have lots of opportunities to burn this Immortal down now. Top lane, Shaman camp is still being pushed. Samuro going to join that. ReGen looking to get some burn in before Hanzo's back on the field, but Red Robot has rejoined Team Exodia, and the defense is here. Another great face melt, avoiding the silence of Alarak. Unaverted, putting as much damage onto Samuro as possible. That's another fort taken out here by Team Exodia. They're now up 4 structures to 2. The trickle XP is going to start coming into play as we see now Kevin and Cookie Man working on the damage onto this top Immortal. Team Exodia back at full strength. So now the teams are going to be clashing here in the mid over this objective. About even health on these Immortals. Porky gets caught there by the scatter arrow of Hanzo. Alarak popping the ult there. Porky gets the stun onto Red Robot. Has to use the angelic armaments once again. ETC's gonna go down here. Unaverted trying to escape in the back line as Nasmus is wreaking havoc back there. Porky and Hot Show on the retreat. They do get the kill onto ETC, but everyone is so low, forcing out the Divine Shield. Cookie Man with the big damage, actually pushing ReGen out and getting onto this Immortal. It looks like Team Exodia is going to pick up another Immortal, despite ReGen getting the kill onto the enemy tank. Just too much damage coming in from the rest of Team Exodia. Look at these lanes. Team Exodia absolutely using that Samuro pressure to push them in. Here comes the Immortal. Team Exodia back at full strength. Chromie a little bit behind here, but will be pushing alongside this Immortal.
The demon moves for the gates of
Samuro with that split push. Porky going to try to respond there, getting some good damage onto Nasmus. But now the Immortal is on the bottom wall, and those Chromie bombs and those Hanzo arrows are going to start dealing some serious damage as Unaverted trying to force back Kevin. Time Trap in the bush is going to provide vision here for Team Exodia. Keep Wall has been taken out. The shield of the Immortal has been taken out. Centurion has to pop that ult to stay alive. The stun there onto Red Robot is good, but there's the Divine Palm. ETC is going to survive. Will they survive this one, though? Oh, unbelievable. Centurion stopped, and Red Robot trying to escape here from Hacho. Porky looking for the impossible impale over the wall. Hacho gets the stun onto Hots on the Karazim. Centurion looking for another pull silence combo. Gets the full clip off onto Red Robot. But somehow, some way, no kills for either squad. ReGen gonna move onto this bottom Khosra camp as we see Nasmus moving back to the top lane, being an ever-constant source of macro and lane pressure for Team Exodia. Taking a look at the hero damage so far, Alarak top in the charts here for ReGen at the 27,000, and Chromie leading the way in both siege and hero damage. 35k onto the members of ReGen as we see a very aggressive rotation from ReGen. Hanzo in the top lane, there's the big Honest Sleep onto Chromie. That's exactly what they need. The Divine Palm is good though alongside the timeout. Won't be enough though. Chromie is going to go down here. That's exactly what this comp of ReGen is built to do. Oh my gosh, I can't get over the timing of the ETC here. The counter stun by Kevin will not be enough to save ETC. Unaverted still on the chase here. Uses the go for the throat. Won't be enough to find the kill onto Hanzo. The Razor Swipe avoids the Hanzo Q. So we see Porky has to respond in the top lane to this Nasmus push. Immortals spawning in 12 seconds here as we see these teams moving towards their Shaman camps once again. ReGen, a little bit of an XP advantage here with all 6 hero kills of the game so far, though you wouldn't think so looking at the map here. Unbelievable stuff. Still closer to level 16, though, is Team ReGen. Immortals are spawned. Nasmus using those clones to scout. Camps are going to be pushing in the off lanes. Chromie, Cookie Man, trying to clear out that bottom lane before joining the team. It looks like Porky trying to stay off the map for the time being. Greymane trying to clear that top camp versus Samuro. Chromie going ahead and clearing the bottom lamp, or the bottom lane, I should say, unobstructed for the time being. Checking in on the top lane. That camp's still pushing strong. Porky's going to go ahead and relieve Unaverted for now. Hot's staying off the map. Ready to come on in. That's some big, big damage from Hanzo and Chromie onto Unaverted. Gonna have to get big healed up by the Uther. It looks like Team Exodia is getting ready to go in. The Slowing Sands is down. Centurion can't find the silence onto Red Robot. But Hacho is there. The stun is out. Honest Sleep not quite available. Chromie putting out those W's onto the members of ReGen. They have a very brief level 16 advantage here as Unaverted is going to go straight onto this Immortal and try to get as much damage as possible, trying to bait Team Exodia into a fight. Red Robot pulled in. The silence is good. The Divine Palm is better, though. Follow-up sleep onto Red Robot, but back to half health, so ReGen is going to have to take another whack at this. Still, ReGen has created enough space to jump on top of this Immortal. Cookie Man raining the sand down onto the members of ReGen. Oh, the Storm Arrow catches 3! Nasmus is on top of Porky. The Slowing Sands will not be there in time, and it looks like ReGen gonna back on out of here. That does give Team Exodia level 16 and gives them position on this Immortal. Gonna try to use that Hanzo and Chromie damage to pull out the halftime show. Centurion still unaware, still not found. There they go. Trying to get away from these Chromie W's once again. Pull is not there onto Red Robot as Porky goes right over the wall there. Gonna have to be careful. Uses the Unstoppable to move through the Slowing Sands. Unaverted right onto the back line. Nasmus flanking around the edges, making Valamar's life interesting. It looks like ReGen manages to regroup here. But Team Exodia moving on to the Immortal, trying to finish off this objective. Nasmus putting the damage onto Hotcho. Uther's going to have to be careful here. Valimar now being chased down. The sleep is good. Uther's going to go down first. Porky is on the chase, though, trying to find Karazim. Red Robot with the final auto attack, and this objective is going to be going over to Team Exodia. But can they get away? Unaverted right onto Hanzo. Those auto attacks are great. Once again, the Divine Palm denying the kill, and there goes Greymane. Nasmus avoiding. Oh, Porky almost had the impale onto Nasmus. The Unstoppable is good from Centurion, avoiding the slide of ETC. Silence is good onto Karazim as well, and the counter kill onto Karazim. Centurion making it look easy out there. Somehow, ReGen's still alive here. Valimar's on the chase, and there goes Hanzo. ReGen knows exactly when to pounce here. Oh, but Valimar, the lucky stars have run out. Anna's gonna go down.
Red team has destroyed.
Top keep destroyed by the objective. Nasmus looking to push in with those Samuro clones. The stun is good onto ETC. There's the follow-up stun. There's a second stun. ETC is down. ReGen cannot stop killing. But the Immortal is on the core. It's working on the shielding. Shields are gone. And we're going to start seeing some core damage here at 83%. I think it's going to get one more whack off. There it goes, 74% on the core of ReGen. 9 kills to 3 so far in this game, but the macro pressure just too much to handle. Still, this game could still go either way. ReGen, if they can pick up enough kills, they do have the bottom lane pretty weakened. They'd still have to cleave down a keep on their way to the core. So we see Unaverted will catch the rotation here. Will not be able to jump onto the point, but looking for a go for the throat onto Cookie Man. There it is, using it on the chase. It looks like Hotcho. Ooh, the arrow is baited out by ReGen. So we're not going to see that for another minute from Ekip. Samuro once again working that split pusher as Hanzo taken out by Centurion. That's 170 sadism, by the way, on Centurion. That's why you're seeing these giant bombs of damage coming out from Alarak. Centurion, I believe, is yet to die. 0 deaths coming out from Alarak. 170 sadism, my goodness. Porky trying to meet the pressure of Nasmus. As we see once again ReGen lining up this shaman camp, I should say, with the objective. Top lane being pushed in by the rest of Team Exodia as Nasmus makes the retreat. Here comes the rotation, though. Trying to catch ReGen on the flank. Red Robot is found out by Unaverted. Hotcho looking for the stun. The time trap is good, and looks like this objective is underway. ReGen moving in very aggressively. They don't quite have level 20 yet. So this would be the opportunity for Team Exodia if they're looking for the fight. There's the double stun. Oh, the Unstoppable is good, though. Unaverted is going to get away. That was the mosh pit. Oh, Red Robot. Another 2 minutes till mosh is back and available. This dragon, or the dragon arrow baited out as well. ReGen still with 5 heroics here. This is the opportunity that ReGen needs. Greymane going back to try to secure level 20 here for ReGen. The Unstoppable is good by Hots, negating the sleep from Ana. Level 20 is here for ReGen. Unaverted coming to join the team. They're looking to find this fight before level 20 is found by Exodia. It's very, very close. Centurion is right onto the backline. The stun is good. Looking for a kill. The silence onto ETC is there. The Unstoppable once again from Hots. That Karazim dash to cleanse. He's putting in some big work here as Valimar avoiding the stuns for now. And the silence is good. Chromie's going to go down. Nasmus forcing Unaverted to turn around here. Swapping with the clones to get away. Unaverted, ooh, almost caught on the terrain there. Manages to avoid the immortal damage. But with Chromie down, there's a stun onto ETC. The Unstoppable is good once again. Hots is just dynamite on these cleanses. Huge silence onto Nasmus. The Dragon Arrow's up again, catches 3, but it is a defensive arrow. managing to peel away for the rest of Team Exodia. And it looks like ReGen maybe picking up their first Immortal of the game here. Alarak in for the defense, trying to prevent Hots and E-Kevin from wearing out this shield. Still 20 seconds till Chromie's back in the field as E-Kevin is caught by Porky. The Divine Palm is baited out. A little bit of a shorter cooldown. It's only 45 seconds till we see that again from Hots. As we are going to see this Immortal. Now it's unfortunately going to be pushing down the top lane. So we see some catapults are starting to build up here. Unaverted, heading on back. Actually, the entirety of ReGen going to go ahead and catch up this lane, try to get caught up as quickly as possible, pushing this top lane. Nasmus working on the bottom lane. Gonna try to get this keep for free here as Red Robot keeping an eye on these rotations. The shield is already being burned away by Karzim, Hanzo, and Chromie. But here comes Porky, here comes Centurion. They want to find another combo kill. There's the silence. The slide is baited out. The Impale will not find Red Robot. Still, Nasmus pushing in the bottom lane. It looks like that keep will absolutely be going down. Actually, Nasmus is going straight onto the keep. Meanwhile, Hanzo taken out here by ReGen. And they've got a decision to make. This core is going to be slowly taken out here by Nasmus. Looks like Porky is going to go back. The Divine Palm is there. Imperius is back on the defense. The core shielding is still there. It looks like Nasmus is going to retreat. Keep is taken out by ReGen. Hanzo is down here. The silence is good onto Hots, but Karazim's going to survive. Stun and follow-up sleep onto Red Robot. Karazim's going to go down. The invulnerable, the extra shields from the D-shield, and it looks like ReGen is going to be barreling down this core and is going to pick up the game here. Red Robot still has something to say about it, though, but it's a little bit too late, and ReGen picks up game number 3. GG. Fantastic game coming out there from these two teams. We had the pick comp of ReGen against the macro comp of Team Exodia. We saw the kills there, 13-3, but that's really not indicative of how this game went. Team Exodia had a fantastic hold of the map through most of the game there, but Centurion on the Alarak, just stacking up that sadism to infinity. Ultimately, just too much damage. The silence lasting from 100 to 0%, and ReGen started to snowball that to victory. Very, very nicely done. Alarak picking up the 63,000 hero damage for ReGen, and Chromie, played by Cookie Man, with nearly 78,000. Seeing why Chromie's catching so many bans here. Really, really nice work. Go ahead and take a look at the talent screen before we head to yet another break. All right, as we get set up for game number 4, I want to take a moment. You're all doing fantastic in the chat. I see you over there cheering on your teams. I'm seeing the follows. I'm seeing the subs, all the raids. So much love for the NGS tonight. I'd love to see it. All right, we're going to get set up for game number 4, but don't go far. It's going to be more ReGen versus Team Exodia. We'll be back soon. All right, welcome back. We are getting ready for game number 4 here. ReGen up 2-1 in this series versus Team Exodia. Looking to close this thing out on this 4th map. And Team Exodia looking for the return to force a game number 5. Looks like we're going to be getting into the draft in just a moment, so let's see if I can time it out right this time. Let's head over to the map screen and remind you of what's been going down in this series. Dragonshire, Alterac Pass, Volskaya Foundry, and Hanamura Temple have been banned out for this series. Infernal Shrines was taken by Team Exodia, but ReGen striking back twice with 2 victories on Towers of Doom and Battlefield of Eternity. And now ReGen is taking us to Tomb of the Spider Queen to try to close out this game number 4. Let's jump into the draft and see what these teams have in store for us. Alrighty. It is going to be once again Team Exodia with the first pick. and the first ban. Taking a look at Tomb of the Spider Queen, obviously wave clear is king here. Makes me wonder if we're going to see Johanna. I'm thinking no. I'm thinking no, especially with how these teams are not doing the tank choke. However, it's still tough to beat Johanna on those rotations, as we see Ana and Chromie banned away by our squads. I think we kind of saw why, even with Chromie losing that last map, we saw why Chromie catches so many bans here in the Storm Division. And speaking of bans in the Storm Division, Ana, yeah. Ana taken out. Valimar doing great work with those sleep darts and just keeping everyone alive way past when I thought that they were going to expire. Team Exodia thinking about their next ban. Going to go ahead and ban away the Imperius. Porky doing a lot of work on that Imperius last game. Will not be doing so in this matchup. We'll see what ReGen wants to ban in response. It is going to be that Junkrat with such a premium put onto wave clear. Junkrat can absolutely fit the bill. And finally, Yrel available to Nasmus. We'll snap that up immediately. ReGen thinking about their response. ETC available. Deckard available. Arrow 23. Thank you for joining us. Glad to see you. ReGen thinking about their next picks. They're going to take away the Garrosh this time, and Valimar snapping up the Deckard Cain. Interesting stuff. Hotcho playing Garrosh for the first time today. Wanting to make sure that Red Robot did not get back onto the hero. But they do forsake ETC. We'll see whether Team Exodia wants to pick that up, or if they've got something else in mind. It is going to be the Johanna. All right. I'm excited to see that. Johanna has really fallen down the priority ever since that 5-second Iron Skin nerf, but with the Gladiator's Medallion back, I feel like Johanna can still get some work done for sure. And Sylvanas has made it through the drafts as we see Jane banned away, further choking down the wave clear options of Team Exodia. Team Exodia thinking about what they want to ban away. All the DPS and offlane options are open here for ReGen. It is going to be the Greymane ban, not wanting to see Unaverted playing the Worgen again. Interesting that they would key in on the Greymane. I mean, Unaverted definitely got some fantastic work done there. And Greymane can do some interesting camp strats here on Tomb of the Spider Queens. Okay, yeah, I can see the Greymane ban making some sense. Team Exodia picking up on that map situation. ReGen gonna pick away the Tychus, and they're gonna play some Gul'dan for me today. Yay! I love Gul'dan. Behind Artanis, he's my favorite hero, and I get to see him. I didn't think I was ever gonna see Gul'dan here in Storm Division. Fantastic stuff. I'm not sure it's going to be Porky that ends up playing Gul'dan, but we shall see. Team Exodia looking to round out their comp. They need a healer. They need an executor. Who is it going to be? It's going to be Anduin and Tassadar. That's some big damage from Sylvan Tassadar coming out. Hots choosing the Anduin for the big saves from that Garrosh Deckard combo. Centurion thinking about that last pick, though I kind of feel like it's Porky's last pick, but we will see how it goes. Looking to round out this comp, looking to go against Yrel in that offlane. It is going to be the Blaze, picked up by ReGen. Let's see if they get the switch. There it is. You can't get a switch by me. What are you thinking? All right. Game number 4, we're loading up here. ReGen looking to close this thing out. Team Exodia looking to force a game number 5. It is Tomb of the Spider Queen. ReGen versus Team Exodia. Let's get back into it. Alrighty. We're loading in. All my stuff's updated. Fantastic. We've got some serious wave clear coming out from ReGen in the form of the Blaze and Gul'dan, but on the other side, we're looking at Johanna Tassadar. I don't think these waves are going to stand a chance. I think the heroes of the Nexus are going to be defeating the forces of the Nexus. But let's get into game number 4 here. Here we go. Tomb of the Spider Queen. On the left in the blue is ReGen, with Porky playing the Blaze, Unaverted on the Tychus, Valimar on the Deckard, Hotcho playing Garrosh, and bringing up the rear, Centurion on the Gul'dan. Come on, buddy. It's time to go. On the right in the red, we have Team Exodia with Cookie Man playing the Sylvanas. Kevin is on the Tassadar, Red Robot playing Johanna, Hots on the Anduin, and Nasmus on the Yrel. Centurion, still thinking about it. There they go. There they go. All right, game number 4 is underway. Garrosh looking for those Q stacks on level 1. Tassadar looking for those Q stacks as well, as Hotcho taking some big damage from the Sylvanas dagger, but the counter route is going to be good. Sylvanas going down here. Kevin slowed by the Blaze, getting out of there with under 50 health. ReGen once again showing they know exactly when to turn these fights, as Kevin going in at the wrong time there, catches a Q. The Fell Flame of Centurion almost getting an inadvertent kill onto the Tassadar. Gonna be Blaze versus Yrel, the oldest of the matchups down in the bottom lane. Maybe not the oldest, but that's an old-timey matchup for sure before they both got some serious nerfs and reworks. Actually, Yrel taken out. Great work by Unaverted, maintaining presence in that bottom bush. And they do get the kill onto the solo laner of Team Exodia. Sylvanas gonna have to catch that for now, as we see Hot saving Kevin with that yeet of faith, as we are want to call it here in the Nexus Gaming series. Rotations are good here from ReGen. Looks like they're a little bit ahead on these minion waves, at least for the time being, as we see Red Robot has been keyed onto by the rest of ReGen. There's the Unstoppable, and Johanna will swag on out of there. Gonna have to go back though, get that health topped off. Looks like Nasmus and Porky will retreat to the bottom lane, and the rotations will continue for our 2 squads. Hotcho looking to stop the rotations of the Team Exodia as Red Robot makes it back to the field, forcing Kevin and Hots to stay in the mid lane, as we once again see a key onto Nasmus. Unaverted staying with Porky in the bottom lane for now. Centurion putting out some big damage. Oh, there's the throw, but the Iron Skin is there. Johanna's going to be just fine. Nasmus regaining health on that Yrel at a rapid pace. Speaking of level 1 quests, Gul'dan did pick up the Echo of Corruption quest on 1, so we will be trying to stack up those E's for that big damage post level 16. Red Robot being forced back by Unaverted, but there's the wall, and that's going to be a kill onto Tychus. Very nicely played there by Kevin, cutting off the retreat of Tychus. Both teams amassing gems. ReGen a little bit ahead in that regard. Just maintaining presence here. Hotcho trying to turn in 19, will be stunned out by Red Robot. Big damage onto Centurion, healing off of Johanna. Looks like Cookie Man is spotted by Porky. And these teams are going to clash here in the bottom lane. Nasmus being chased down by Hotcho and Valimar. Here comes Red Robot trying to get onto this bottom point, but it looks like it will be ReGen picking up this neutral siege camp. Nasmus with that 35 physical armor denying a lot of the damage coming out from Porky and from Unaverted. Centurion watching the rotation in the mid lane. That piggy bank Johanna still very effective here on Tomb of the Spider Queen. There's the throw and stun from Hotcho, forcing out the Iron Skin, which will now be expiring. Porky with the follow-up stun. Could this be a kill onto Red Robot? Ooh, the save from Hots is good. Yrel with the peels. Oh, they're not done though. Red Robot being thrown back. That's a huge pickup for ReGen. Ooh, Nasmus manages to go and pick up most of those gems though. Will Yrel escape? Yes, Yrel gets on out of there. That's another kill here for ReGen as these teams go to level 7. Centurion allowing the waves to crash in that mid lane. Looks like Hotcho will finally have the opportunity to dump off those 20. But now Nazmus sitting with those 30 gems is going to be the point of focus for ReGen. Cookie Man keeping an eye on that mid lane. Porky sitting on 20 gems as well, almost has enough for a solo turn-in as we see these teams clashing in the mid lane once again. Big damage from Cookie Man onto Unaverted. Tychus will get healed up by Valimar. Porky rotating aggressively, trying to keep vision on this turn-in point as we see Centurion with 18 will be interrupted by Tassadar in the top lane. Both these teams doing a great job of keeping these turn-in points looked after as Red Robot trying to get some big damage onto Centurion. Porky having to pop the trait, get some to help get away from Nazmus and Cookie Man. Kevin, once again, just keeping an eye on things in that top lane. Does not want to let Gul'dan turn in for free. Hotcho threatening Johanna. Nazmus still with 36 gems. Red Robot trying to peel away for Yrel here. As both teams trying to find level 10 before their next fight. Gul'dan actually taken out in the mid lane. I thought Gul'dan looked fine, but too much damage. Kevin getting the final hit there. Hotcho, managing to get away with less than 200 health. This may be the opportunity that Team Exodia needs to get this turn in. Porky is caught by Red Robot and Nazmus on this rotation. Hotcho trying to make Kevin think twice. I have to be careful here, does not want to be caught out. Manages to get the W. Oh, and the Deckard potions are going to be good. Nazmus managing to turn in the bottom lane, and that is going to be the first Webweaver phase going over to Team Exodia. ReGen going to pick up their Bruiser camp. Kevin is actually taking some big damage from Centurion. A great body block from Hotcho is going to get a timely pick there onto Tassadar. Level 10s are here for both squads. This Red Robot trying to delay the clear of ReGen here. Looking at the bunker, Odin, Stay a While and Listen, Warlord's Challenge, and the... I always call it Haunt. It's the Horrify coming out from Gul'dan. Over on the side of Team Exodia, as Porky being keyed onto by Nazmus, actually forced out here. Gonna have to head down to the bottom lane. The Wailing Arrow of Sylvanas, Ardent Defender, Light Bomb, Blessed Shield, and Archon as Nazmus being stunned out by Porky. The Blessed Shield is committed. Garrosh is actually going to go down here. Oh, Porky manages to pop the bunker and get away. A nice sleep onto Kevin as Centurion is coming on down. The Horrify is good and catches all the members of Team Exodia. Is that going to be enough to get Red Robot on out of there? No, Johanna's going to go down. Nazmus picking up those gems once again. And it's a 1-for-1 trade onto those tanks. As Odin will expire here and Unaverted is not done chasing. Cookie Man and Nazmus are discovered by Porky in that vent. As Garrosh is back onto the battlefield. Team Exodia almost with another turn-in available. ReGen sitting on a lot of gems right now. It looks like Porky will have the opportunity to get a blue Webweaver wave pushing down the lanes. Gul'dan will meet Kevin once again at 22 stacks on that 40 stack quest. It looks like we got a gank attempt onto Gul'dan. That's a lot of damage from Cookie Man. There's the Blessed Shield. Caught with the Condemn. Trying to use the W to survive. Oh, Unaverted getting a great grenade onto Sylvanas for the counter kill. Porky gets the jet propulsion stun, but the save from Anduin is there. But a double taunt and sleep combo. Hots is gonna go down. ReGen, somehow, some way, always finding a way to turn these fights. And that's 2 kills as ReGen has their Webweaver wave pushing down all 3 lanes. Nazmus going to be clearing the bottom. Porky moving up to the mid lane as we see Ironskin is baited out. Nice wall from Kevin to force ReGen to back away. They're going to be heading towards the middle lane there. Haunting Wave is committed by Cookie Man, but manages to get enough spacing to avoid the combos of Hotcho. Adrenaline Rush from Porky. They want this fort and they want to get it down. There's the Odin coming out as well. Looks like mid fort will be surviving for now. There's the Light Bomb onto 2. Silence Arrow out as well. Team Exodia going right in there, but the bunker is out. It looks like ReGen gonna survive for now. They've got the level 13 advantage. They're using this bunker to avoid the damage of Team Exodia. Hotcho pushed back by Nasmus. The double stun from Hotcho forcing Team Exodia to start backing off here. There's a root onto Cookie Man. Oh, the jet propulsion doesn't land. There's the friendly throw. But Porky just not enough damage to get through the Anduin heals. And once again, teams clashing violently and no kills to be seen. Just fantastic saves from the healers, fantastic positionings from these top-tier teams. Unaverted, sitting on 24, gonna have to be a part of the next turn-in. Centurion trying to delay the turn-in of Team Exodia in the top lane. Looks like Unaverted, ooh, will have the opportunity, and that's a second blue Web Weaver wave stacked onto the first one. Gonna be trying to find the first structures of the game here are ReGen. Nasmus still in the bottom lane trying to catch up on that XP for Team Exodia. Hotcho looking for a throw. Will not find one onto Red Robot just yet. The Gul'dan E is enough. It looks like it's going to be taking down that mid fort. And ReGen going to be rotating to the top lane. Still 28 stacks on that Gul'dan quest. May not have that quest finished by the time level 16 is here and Ruinous Affliction is online. That's really the big power spike that Gul'dan has. Ooh, a fantastic rotation. The taunt is there onto Red Robot. The Iron Skin is baited out. Still unstoppable, though, is Johanna. Looks like Red Robot will manage to get away. It's Odin versus Archon in the top lane. The epic StarCraft battle continues as Nasmus getting the double stun. Porky having to drop the bunker immediately taken away. Unaverted still throwing in the flanks from the top lane. Once again, the Iron Skin is taken by Johanna. And once again, a tremendous clash from our teams and no kills to be seen. Now settling for the bottom lane. Oh, this is a lot onto Nasmus. Still has the Ardent Defender, going to be staying at full health, going to be keeping up. There's the Hand of Freedom to try to create some space, and ReGen has to back off here. The negative armor from that fort, the time that they were taking, just too much.
My altar awaits the gems.
All right, Team Exodia looking for a possible double turn-in of their own. But right now, ReGen is controlling the lanes. They're turning in what they can. They're going to need a few more waves before they can get a third Web Weaver wave. Nasmus and Red Robot. There's the throw onto Nasmus. Does not have Ardent Defender for another 80 seconds here. You see Porky picking up that siege camp in the bottom lane. The rest of ReGen clearing out the bruiser camp in the mid. Porky trying to avoid a gank here from Team Exodia. There's the wall to cut off the aiding Valimar. But it looks like Team Exodia will keep all their gems for now. Nasmus looking for an opportunity to turn in the top lane, trying to create a vision problem. There's the throw and stun out on to Hotcho, or from Hotcho, I should say. So once again, Team Exodia is interrupted by Porky. Putting some damage out onto Blaze, but gonna get out of there just fine. Gul'dan rotating down. There's the stun from Porky. Nasmus has taken a lot of damage from Unaverted in that mid lane. Centurion gets the fear, and that's Yrel down. That's a lot of gems on the floor. Red Robot trying to get on for top. Oh, Cookie Man uses the Haunting Wave, but 3 are caught by Valimar in the sleep. Unaverted pushing onto Cookie Man here. Looks like Sylvanas with 57 gems is going to manage to get away. Hod's throwing the end of that Anduin W. Gems mostly preserved here for Team Exodia, but they are short Nasmus for another 15 seconds as we see ReGen is going to head straight to the boss. Centurion has the level 16 online, needs 6 more stacks before you start seeing those 6 corruptions coming out from Gul'dan. It's going to be a red Web Weaver wave as ReGen picks up this boss to try to nullify this top lane. Taking a look at the XP here, the passive XP is going to start to stack up here for ReGen. They're only a little bit ahead right now, but they're now 6 structures to 4. And that's going to see them at level 20. There's the taunt and the throw. Iron Skin is popped. Porky trying to wait for that unstoppable to cease. But it will not be in time. And Team Exodia will escape the gank. Top boss going to be quickly cleared away here by Team Exodia. ReGen looking to clear the opposite lanes. Nasmus could be in trouble here. Hotcho looking for this rotation. Nasmus looking for a leap. Finds it onto Hotcho. There's the Indomitable. That stopped the Blessed Shield, but it may not be enough. Garrosh going down here. That's a big sleep onto the members of Team Exodia, but the Light Bomb catches Valimar. Decker trying to get back under this fort. Porky is being body blocked by Red Robot and Nasmus, and that's a double kill for Team Exodia as they push onto this top fort. Oh, the fear, is that going to be enough? Oh, the save from Hots is enough to save Red Robot. Almost a quick kill there from Centurion onto Johanna. But it is going to be the top fort taken out by Team Exodia and starting to even out this passive experience advantage that was amassed by ReGen. And definitely going to be nullifying it if they take this mid fort, using the two-player advantage to try to sweep away the forts of ReGen. Centurion, just one more stack needed before the 6 Echoes of Corruption start landing onto the members of Exodia. Nasmus going to move on down, grab the siege camp in the bottom lane. We do have another red web weaver phase that's going to be converted by Cookie Man in a solo 60 gem turn-in. That's a big, big deal here for Team Exodia, as Sylvanas is not exactly the most reliable coin carrier. Dropping 60 into the bank.
Descend, my daughters. Descend.
Here come the red web weavers. ReGen looking to focus on clearing away this bottom lane, save their remaining fort. Porky in the top lane gonna have to mount up and get on out of there as Exodia was starting to move in that direction. Looks like Unaverted and Centurion gonna clear the bottom wave. Hotcho and Valimar gonna try to slow the push in the mid. Porky has joined the crew there. Looks like bottom fort will be preserved, but Red Robot trying to keep an eye on this vision. This could be trouble. Well, they're going to back on the spot. Very nicely done there by ReGen. Porky getting some clear there with that level 1 talent. Here comes Centurion. Still looking for one more E-stack. Objective going to be cleared away. Porky in the top lane going to clear away that objective as well. Team Exodia now going to retreat back to this bottom fort, and they will go ahead and pick this up. Here is where the game starts to get tricky. Both teams about to have level 20. Both teams have all their keeps. It's all about playing with vision now. There's the Indomitable. The taunt onto 3 is good. Hotcho taking a ton of damage, though, having to back out through those Deckard potions. The silence is good, but it looks like Hotcho's going to get away. Red Robot with the Light Bomb goes in and stuns Centurion. Gul'dan's quest is done. Nasmus taking some big damage from the Gul'dan. Garrosh actually going down on the retreat there. Sylvanas converting that kill. And with enough gems to turn in, it looks like Team Exodia will be sending the red web weavers down the lanes here. Exactly enough for that turn-in. Garrosh out for another 40 seconds here. We'll see what Team Exodia can do with this advantage. Can they take a keep? Can they take multiple keeps? They want to get as much as they can in the remaining 30 seconds here as they work on this bottom keep wall. Kevin forced back by that Gul'dan damage. Centurion gonna have to be careful here as the leaps of Nasmus are waiting for him to take just one step too far. Look for another kill. There it is. Nasmus trying to get around the back, forcing back Unaverted and Porky. Here comes this bottom web weaver. It's going right on to the keep. Garrosh now back on the field. Centurion taking some big damage from that shock ray. Mid web weaver is on the keep as well. Porky, stunned out there. Gonna have to pop the bunker to stay alive as the bottom keep is now turned off by Sylvanas, and the rest of the crew are gonna go ahead and take that out. It looks like the mid keep is saved for now, but here comes Exodia. Are they gonna rotate aggressively? Looks like, they're thinking about it. ReGen is waiting though. There's the throw onto Nasmus, the unstoppable Seraphim on 20, keeping Yrel alive for now. The light bomb, not gonna catch anybody. And Team Exodia is going to have to rotate back around. They will not find any kills there. That's Light Bomb committed, as well as the taunt and the bunker over on the side of ReGen. Only one keep taken out for now. Oh, Red Robot in some trouble here. Getting burned down by Unaverted. There it is. Johanna's going down, but that's a counter kill onto Garrosh. Valimar is stuck in the members of Team Exodia. That's a kill onto Deckard Cain. Nasmus trying to slow the retreat of ReGen. They want to find yet another kill here. Cookie Man putting some big negative armor onto Porky, and that's Blaze going down. A triple kill here for Team Exodia. Oh, I know it's gotta be trouble here, taking a full salvo from Gul'dan, but staying alive for now. And Team Exodia may be looking to end here. They don't have their tank, but with only Tychus and Gul'dan on the field, oh, they're not gonna risk it. They're not gonna go for core. Instead, it looks like they may be going back to try to pick up this boss. They get the top keep. They've still got another 20 seconds till anyone from ReGen is back on the field, and they're going to pick up this boss and have it push down the top lane. Johanna will be joining the members of Team Exodia. Right now, Centurion and Unaverted trying to completely turn in here. They will be able to do so with the gems that they have in hand. Here comes the blue web weavers, but here comes the red boss. ReGen gonna go ahead and back, and we're gonna have a full defense here as Blaze is about to be back on the field. Nasmus pushing in with the boss here. Centurion trying to get as much clear as possible. Here comes the web weavers, gonna be spawning behind this boss, actually. The rest of Team Exodia are gonna take out the remaining keep of ReGen. Here comes the boss, here comes Johanna trying to find kills onto Centurion. Boss is on the core here. Exodia looking to poke in, looking to possibly end. This boss is about to be taken out. Cookie Man is actually caught with the Deckard. Uses the warp to get away, also saved by Hots with that Yeet of Faith. Looks like ReGen has the defense for now, but with no keeps left and 3 keeps up on the side of Team Exodia, this is going to be very difficult for ReGen. They're not going to be able to wait long here to try to find their advantage and end this game. Team Exodia, they've got time on their hands. Hacho looking for any possible throw here. Bottom web weaver is still up for now. That's a big blessed shield stun, and Tychus is going to be taken out immediately along with Gul'dan. All the damage of ReGen is destroyed. Hacho is being chased down. The Indomitable already used. Garrosh is going to go down. Porky looking like is going to be next. Valimar being keyed on by the members of Team Exodia. Porky being chased down by Kevin. Blaze is going to go down. Valimar caught in the double stun, and that is a full team wipe. Team Exodia are going to march down to the core and bring us to a game number 5. Fantastic job there on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Getting control, keeping control, getting those crucial mid-game turn-ins. ReGen just not able to find enough structure damage to overcome Team Exodia. There goes the core, and we're going to game number 5. Congratulations, Team Exodia, on game number 4. GG. All right, quick look at the final summary screen. 15 kills to 9 there for Team Exodia. Cookie Man leading the way on the hero damage with the Sylvanas, 73,000. Unaverted dealing massive damage, 87.5k for ReGen. Really nicely done. Man, just looking at those comps, it looked like the wave clear advantage was on the side of ReGen, but the wombo combo that Urel showing why she's banned just so often gets through and gets the win there for Team Exodia. Very nicely done. Quick look at the talents, and we're going to head to the break and get ready for game number 5. All right, we're all locked up. It is 2-2. Game number 5 on the way. We're going to go to a quick break, but when we come back, the grand finale of ReGen versus Team Exodia. Don't go far. Alrighty, welcome back. It is game number 5 between ReGen and Team Exodia. These teams are ready. We're going to be going to Cursed Hollow for the last time here. let's head over to the map screen and remind you of the state of this series. Dragonshire, Alterac Pass, Volskaya Foundry, and Hanamura Temple have been banned away for this series. Infernal Shrines won by Team Exodia. ReGen bouncing back with 2 wins on Towers of Doom and Battlefield of Eternity. And then Team Exodia evening things up there on Tomb of the Spider Queen. And now we are going to Cursed Hollow at the behest of Team Exodia. Let's get into the draft as we see the Lost Vikings have been banned away by ReGen. And Ana has been banned away by Team Exodia. These bans are flying fast. Sylvanas will not be played in this game. Interested to see if we're going to see another Abathur comp here on Cursed, or if it's going to be banned away by Team Exodia. Thinking about their 4th ban here. A lot of good options. Will it be the Deckard ban? Deckard's been doing great work. It is going to be Abathur. Not wanting to face that constant pressure that Abathur provides, that constant team fight boost. So ReGen can have to come up with something a little more standard. Or will they? Well, Vikings and Abathur are off the board. Those are pretty much the funky twists that we often see on Cursed Hollow. But we'll see what they want to prioritize for first pick. Junkrat is available. Chromie's available. Hotcho wants that ETC. Are we gonna get the Snap Chromie? Is it Snap Chromie time? Is it Junkrat Deckard time? What are we doing here, Team Exodia? What's the plan? Wouldn't be surprised to see an early Urel. Not exactly, you know, not as effective here on such a wide map. We're gonna see Chromie and Raynor come out for E. Kevin and Cookie Man. So another Chromie game on the books here in the Storm Division. Will it be successful this time? Guess we'll have to see. Guess we'll have to see. ReGen thinking about what they want to pair up with this ETC. Ana not available, but Deckard is. We're going to see a Zeratul and a Brightwing. Interesting. Very interesting. It is a very wide map. We got the global coming in from Brightwing. I'm interested to see whether it's going to be a stage dive from Hotcho. That'd be spicy. Zeratul going to be lurking around the back, trying to make things difficult for Raynor and for Chromie, both two fairly low health pools and fairly low escape options outside of those time traps and that one little pushback. Team Exodia going to take away the Greymane once again. Do not want to see Unaverted playing that again. Put up some big numbers there in game number 3. ReGen going to ban away Garrosh. So that leaves an interesting tank choice for Team Exodia. Are we going to see a May? Are we going to see possibly an Anubarak? Captain Braille, welcome to the program. Thank you for your contribution. Pondering their picks is Team Exodia. We've got to think about their tank choices now, because ETC and Garrosh will not be the matchup. It's going to be Deckard coming in for Hodson. There's Nasmus with the Urel, hiding the last pick here for Red Robot. Is it going to be... I'm interested to see the tank option. Are we going to see a tank Uther once again? I'm not sure. ReGen thinking about their final picks here. They've got the Zeratul kicker. They got to pick up a solo laner. They've got to pick up a main damage. We'll see what they want to go with here. It's going to be, ooh, Porky sniping the Karazim and Unaverted on the unabashed Cassia. When you're talking damage, you're talking Cassia. Interesting stuff. So we've got likely a damage Karazim, possibly an Insight. I'm not sure what Karazims are running these days, especially when they're alongside a Brightwing. I think we got a very spicy comp here from ReGen as Red Robot thinking about the tank choice here for Team Exodia. I'm excited too. It's going to be Mal'Ganis. Mal'Ganis, it will be the choice here for Team Exodia. All right. Well, game number 5 getting loading in here. It's Acid6969 having a bit of a problem in chat, but coming on in with the sub. Thank you very much for joining us today. Game number 5. ReGen versus Team Exodia. Let's get into it. Alright, I'm updated. I'm ready to go. Fantastic stuff. Alright, Cursed Hollow is the map. The Karazim has switched sides. We've got a double healer, kinda, sorta. They come out to, I'm gonna say they come out to 1.2 healers there for ReGen. The Chromie's back, alongside the Deckard this time, along with Urel. Ooh, it's a tough comp here. Let's get into it. Game number 5.
Prepare yourself for battle.
On the left, in the blue, for the 5th time today, is ReGen. It's going to be Porky playing the Karazim, unaverted on the Cassia, Valimar on the Brightwing, Centurion playing Zeratul, and Hotcho on the ETC. On the right, in the red, we have Team Exodia with Cookie Man playing the Chromie, E-Kevin is on the Rainer, Nasmus is on the Urel, Red Robot on the Mal'Ganis, and Hots on the Deckard.
Well,
Here we go. Game number 5, ReGen and Team Exodia. Looking at those W stacks for Chromie at the start, but that may be immediately taken out. There's the medallion. Cookie Man with 29 health. Porky wants to find the finish. Somehow, Chromie survives. Somehow, Porky survives. Not for long, though. Karazim will fall as first blood. Valimar may be next. Oh, a great Gladiator's medallion saves Brightwing from the final fell claws of Red Robot. Oh, the double stun onto averted. Not gonna quite be enough. Chromie soaking in the bottom lane. We got Zeratul up in the top lane here for ReGen, going to be met by Nasmus on this rotation. We see Porky going to go down there to meet the Chromie. Unaverted and Brightwing going to go straight onto this Bruiser camp. Get that going right at the 1 minute mark. Hotcho just holding down things in the mid lane as we see Rainer going to go ahead and pick up the Siege camp here for Team Exodia. Cookie Man trying to grab this experience versus Valimar in the bottom lane. Brightwing holding things down while Porky goes ahead and helps out unaverted with this camp. It is an Iron Fist Karazim, so we're going to have the damage being dealt by Porky. ETC just trying to rotate around as best as possible, trying to get through these early macro rotations here on Cursed Hollow. Valimar putting out those pixie spits onto Chromie in the bottom lane. Oh, actually a big damage there, and Brightwing's gonna go down. Looking for the trade, but not finding it. Porky looking to come on in there. The time trap is good. Cookie Man, you sly boots. Catches Porky with the time trap and gets away. Hot's coming down for the rotation onto Karazim, throwing those potions out, trying to get Cookie Man back on full health. Unaverted, timing out this siege camp with the first curse of the game, which will be coming down the bottom lane, and we're going to see E-Kevin and Red Robot picking up the Bruiser camp on the right. Centurion looking to throw the damage onto Deckard before this early objective. Nasmus trying to get away from Hotcho and unaverted in the top lane will manage to scoot on out of there. Bottom lane tribute will be spawning in about 20 seconds here. We'll see these teams start to lurk around. Centurion looking to find Cookie Man, but the hearth is there, and Chromie will escape. Red Robot interrupting the rotation of Hotcho. And the tribute is spawning now. Porky is on the back line. Gonna have to be careful, because here comes Mal'Ganis. The slide is there, though. Fellclaw's onto 2. The sleep is back and available. That lines up those Chromie shots, and that's going to force Porky and Hotcho to start backing on out. Another double stun onto Hotcho and unaverted by Mal'Ganis. He's having a pretty good start to the game here. E-Kevin is interrupted by Porky. Right now we have Brightwing versus Urel in the top lane. Zeratul trying to get that level 7 for ReGen. The interrupt is there once again, but level 7 is here for Team Exodia. ReGen. Oh, the slide onto E-Kevin is good. ETC gonna back on out of there. Level 7 is here for ReGen. Oh, a time trap catches too. I'm not even sure when Chromie had time to put that one down. Unaverted gets controlled here by Red Robot, but does manage to avoid the Deckard route. ETC rotating to the mid lane, trying to find that XP once again, and it looks like ReGen is going to go ahead and give away this first tribute of the game. Brightwing and Urel never bothering to come on down. They want that level 7 they wanted badly. Unaverted getting the big triple blind there. Avoiding the Deckard route, maintaining position for now. Centurion gonna have to be careful here, getting hit by the deep breathing, and Zeratul gonna go down. Great aim there by Cookie Man. Picks up the kill. Valimar using the warp to go ahead and help out Unaverted in the bottom lane. Kevin once again on top of that siege camp timing for Team Exodia. And we're gonna have a top tribute spawn in about 20 seconds here. Nasmus getting a lot of work done here in the top lane, taking out this wall completely. That's going to give Team Exodia a lot more space to move around those top tributes. Now almost a half level ahead here with those hero kills. And the mercenary advantage here is Team Exodia. Red Robot trying to pick up the site advantage here. Porky is on top of Hots. Here comes Hotcho and Nasmus though. Looks like Karazim will escape for now. Brightwing still in the bottom lane. Gonna be thinking about warping in soon. Hod's taking a ton of damage, and Deckard Cain is taken out by the Karazim, but the counter kill onto ETC is good. Unaverted. Ooh, gets saved by Brightwing for now, but Valimar may be caught between a rock and a hard place. Brightwing's gonna go down here for the sake of Cassia. Raynor being taken out here by Zeratul in the backline. Karazim going down as well. It's a bloodbath over this second objective. Unaverted taken out after the time trap is true. Centurion trying to warp to the lane there, does have to use the blink, avoiding the sandblast for now. Nasmus finds the jump and the kill is converted. I think everyone went down there. Did Hotcho go down? I think ETC didn't go down. That's 4 kills there for Team Exodia, and they're going to pick up this second objective and have a second curse point. With their advantage, Team Exodia is going to pick up a quick boss here. Heroics are in for both sides. Team Exodia with the slowing sand, stay a while and listen, Ardent Defender. The Rainer's Raider picked up by Kevin, and the Dark Conversion by Mal'Ganis. So no Carrion Swarm saves, looking for the quick ganks there as we see ReGen trying to take a counter boss, but I don't think they're going to be able to take this in time. Can they stop Red Robot? There is the stage dive from Hotcho. Nasmus in the back line. They're going to try to leash this boss, but I don't think Team Exodia is going to let him. Zeratul going down in the back line. Karazim as well. Big sleep there from Ots onto 2. Hotcho being forced out by Cookie Man. Boss has been reset, but 2 dead for ReGen, 3 dead for ReGen. Wouldn't be surprised to see Team Exodia move on to this boss. Brightwing being chased away by Red Robot there in the top lane. It looks like those towers will be enough for now. And we see Team Exodia working on this forward. Cookie Man, you gotta be careful here. Hotcho gets the kill. Nice little flank there. Team Exodia is gonna have to back off. Hotcho doing it alone. But the curse is here. Team Exodia have cursed their opponents. ReGen is back on the field, but they now have to contend with this full pressure. Boss taken out by Centurion in the top lane, but not before it deals some big damage to that top keep wall. Kevin pushing back Porky. ETC looking for the slide onto Mal'Ganis. Dark Conversion is available. Hotcho's got to be careful there. You see the bottom lane pressure. There it is. The Dark Conversion is out. Polymorph trying to get Hotcho out of there. The slide is good. Avoids the slow of Deckard Cain, and Hotcho's going to get out of there just fine. Timeout used by Chromie. Porky and Unaverted. Gonna have to be careful. There is the 7-sided, but the sleep is good. Porky having to use the Radiant Dash onto Unaverted to get out of there. Valimar with the warp in. And that is 2 forts down. Mid-fort weakened. Team Exodia's got a full level lead here on Cursed Hollow. Kevin once again back on this siege camp. Looks like it's going to be Cassia and Karazim working on the Bruiser camp here for ReGen. As the rest of Team Exodia works on their own Bruiser camp. Brightwing trying to keep up with the XP soak in the bottom lane. Zeratul holding things down in the top lane for ReGen. Taking a quick look at the hero damage, Cassia leading the way for ReGen, and Chromie leading the way there for Team Exodia. Minion XP heavily favoring ReGen here, but that hero and mercenary XP are what's keeping Team Exodia ahead in this matchup. Looks like Nasmus and Hotcho are going to fight over this vision in the top lane. Brightwing currently split soaking. Looking for a sleep, finds one onto Cassia. There's the slowing sands. That's going to put a lot of damage, and Unaverted gets absolutely blown up. This Beige Dive is good. Hotcho slept in the backline, but I don't know if ReGen can find the engage here. Centurion taking a ton of damage, has to use the blink to get on out of there. Kevin pushing the issue, and T Porky gonna have to retreat here. Is actually caught by Red Robot. Karazim's gonna get out of there. That's just fine. Hotcho not gonna be so lucky. The Dragon's Breath converts the kill, but the counter kill is good. TT Porky with the 7-sided onto Mal'Ganis. There's the polymorph. Nasmus avoids the spike. Centurion, ooh, they caught in the time trap, managing to blink away before the deep breathing could get him. Ardent Defender is popped by Nasmus, getting the stun onto Unaverted. Ooh, Void Prison in the backline. Nasmus trying to slow down the combo. Porky using the dash to get on out of there, and that's going to be Raynor going down first. Hotcho's back on the field. Kane is down. Raynor is down. And ReGen are turning this thing around. They want Cookie Man. Hotcho picking up that kill. There's the polymorph onto Nasmus, having to pop that Gladiator's medallion. Oh, managing to get away. Centurion's not done. Wants the kill and dies for it. Zeratul gonna get away. Valimar trying to get in there with that blink heal, but unable to get Zeratul out of there. That's 4 dead for Team Exodia. And Red Robot is saying, you two can't kill me alone. Uh-oh, here comes Porky, though. Red Robot gonna have to think about retreating here, as both teams approaching level 16, and there it is. Red Robot really just living on the side of ReGen here. As we see Team Exodia is looking for a quick back tap on this boss. Unaverted, checking the bottom boss, seeing no one's there. They've got to assume Team Exodia is on this boss, and their fears are about to be realized as the red boss is going to be pushing down the top lane. There's the warp in from Brightwing. They want to find this Mal'Ganis. The claws are out. There's the dark conversion, but Hotcho gets the slow, but is immediately taken away by the Gladiator's medallion. Red Robot running right over those rubies and somehow back to full health. Hots cannot find Centurion with the sleep, but the sleep finds ReGen as Mal'Ganis finds 3 with the Night Rush. Porky gonna have to be careful here. Pop the 7-sided to stay off the map. Kevin is very low. Unaverted somehow finds the fend angle, but the counter kill onto Cassia is good. Nasmus right onto the backline. Porky trying to survive. Karazim will be the next to fall. There's the Void Prison, but not before Brightwing falls. That's a triple kill for Team Exodia. Centurion waiting for the blink cooldown will not be enough. That's a quad kill coming out for Team Exodia as they move on to ReGen's boss. Hotcho in the mid lane gonna have to back and deal with this top lane boss that has been pushing this whole time. The top keep is gone. The bottom boss being taken, and ReGen is in a tough spot here as they're gonna go down 6 structures to 2. Boss on the core, but will be taken out very quickly here. By the way, there's a tribute, and Hot's just gonna go ahead and pick that up and grab this next point for Team Exodia. Kevin plugging away at this bruiser camp. Bottom boss is going to be worked on here by ReGen as they are now back at full strength with Zeratul back on the field. Looks like the mid lane is the next target here for Team Exodia, pushing up this wave right away. Nazmus keeping an eye on the flanks. Looks like they're actually going to go ahead for a bruiser camp steal as the bottom boss is cleared away by ReGen. We'll see if they can scout this out. Hot's coming in around for the flank. Hotcho's going to see it. There's the sleep. Is going to catch 3, actually. Porky quickly woken up by... But ETC is going to be caught in that slowing sands. The slide is good. It looks like ETC is going to get on out of there. Kevin being keyed onto by Cassia and Zeratul. There's the stage dive. Void Prison onto 4. Can ReGen turn this thing around? There's the silence. Rainer's going to go down first. Valimar a little bit caught in the back. ETC counter-killed Hots and Centurion very, very low. Deckard Cain is going to go down first. Cookie Man being chased out by Porky, and oh my gosh, another massive time trap. Karazim killed by Cookie Man. The timeout stops the fend. Is there nothing Chromie can't do? Well, can't quite live. Oh, too bad. Valimar can't escape the jump of Nazmus. There is the Seraphim trying to get away. Oh, Centurion's on the chase, though. That's 3 deaths for ReGen, 4 deaths for Team Exodia. Did I say 3 because I meant 4? That's a 4 for 4. Cassia and Mal'Ganis, the only ones left on the field. Cassia's got to clear away this bruiser camp on the core. Mal'Ganis is going to grab the second curse point here for Team Exodia. Unaverted, it's going to have to try to stop this push in the bottom lane before it takes out this bottom keep. ETC is back on the field. Red Robot trying to get this bottom keep, but it's going to have to use the Night Rush to get on out of there as ReGen is starting to respawn. ETC keeping this triple catapult in the top lane handled. Top boss respawning at about 1 minute here. Bottom boss still another 2.5 minutes. Team Exodia looking to find another curse here. They're on 2 out of 3 points. ReGen trying to salvage what is left of their lanes, trying to make sure that bottom keep is not taken away here. Unaverted gonna go ahead and pick up this siege camp, so they got 1 less lane to worry about with only 5 seconds until this tribute is back. Someone's gonna have to get up here for the interrupt. Slowing Sands is in position. The Raider sees Hotcho. Brightwing ready to warp in. Here comes Zeratul for the flank. This is a 20 versus 20 fight. Brightwing has joined the pack. Oh, the Void Prison onto 2. There's the big stage dive coming in from Hotcho. Ardent Defender is out. There's a sleep catching 3. Hots is very, very low. Hotcho trying to survive versus Kevin in the backline. ETC is going to go down first. Hot's going to go down in response as a 4v4 for now. Red Robot finds the stun onto Porky, but the Radiant Dash is good. Avoids the leap of Nazmus. And this is going to be a curse here for Team Exodia. Here it is. The minions are 1 health. The fort, or the remaining keep, is turned off. And you know, they say you're not supposed to take a boss during an objective here on Cursed Hollow. But with the lanes pushed out the way they are and the opportunity to do it, I can't fault them. Team Exodia picks up the top right boss. Unaverted, and crew looking for the flank here. Nazmus finds them though. Centurion is on top of Kevin. Rainer's gonna have to be careful here. Finding their way underneath the boss stun. That's a double stun onto Zeratul. Oh, this Brightwing and Cassia are taken out. This is a big deal here. Karazim goes down in the back. Centurion trying to retreat. Trying to find the kill onto Nazmus. Yrel's actually going to go down here, but Zeratul is down as well. ETC is back on the core. GGs are called. And Team Exodia fights back and picks up the win in game number 5. Here comes Cookie Man. And there it is. The 3-2 victory is there. GG. My, oh my. 28 kills to 15 for Team Exodia in that 18-minute game. Just a bloodbath back and forth. Every team fight. Deaths here, deaths there. 2 heroes left on one side, 1 left on the other. But ultimately, Team Exodia getting the better of the team fights down the stretch, controlling those bosses, and cruising to the 3-2 series win. Cookie Man on the Chromie leading the way on the hero damage for Team Exodia with the 61,000. And Cassia dishing out the pain for ReGen. Almost 60,000 hero damage coming out from Unaverted. Look at that, 12 finishing blows on Chromie. Unbelievable stuff. Let's head to the talents. And then see, maybe we can find ourselves an interview here with Team Exodia. We'll see what we can find. Alrighty. Well, that was quite a series. Let me quickly see before I ramble on too much longer. Whisper. Let me see if I can find one for you before we close out the day here. All right, looks like we are going to get a member from Team Exodia here in just a couple moments. We'll have a quick wrap-up interview for you here today. Man, that was a test on the voice. My jaw's starting to get a little tired. All right, Cookie Man, thank you very much for joining me, and congratulations on your 3-2 victory today. That's got to feel good.
Yeah, thank you so much.
What do you say? Ready to have a little fun?
Really a fantastic series there, fighting back from 2-1 to convert the victory. Tell me a little bit about how the drafts went in this series. We saw some definite prioritization onto Ana, but Junkrat was kind of in and out for how much he's shown up in Storm Division so far. How do you feel Junkrat is right now in the meta?
Junk's good. He can be really scary on certain maps and then completely useless on others. Like Cursed, just like not a threat at all, so no one even banned him. Okay,
so definitely still a map-specific pick there. Now, what seemed to not be such a map-specific pick there was Chromie. You put out some big pain on both games there, splitting the decision 1-1. Do you feel like Chromie still deserves that first ban spot in her current state? Do you feel like some buffs or some nerfs are coming her way?
I would not be surprised if W gets more nerfs. She's just really strong with it. Like if you land a good W with her ult slowing, it's just like you win the game. And then that, how many stasis she has, she's really strong and hard to fight.
Absolutely, we saw some just unbelievable time traps coming out from you there, especially in game number 5. It was hard to believe how well that was working out for you guys. Really good stuff.
Thanks.
Take me back to Towers of Doom. We saw some very unorthodox drafts coming through there. When you saw the... I'm trying to think back here. We saw the Abathur pick come through. When you saw the Abathur come through for ReGen, what was the sort of coordinated response you needed to have there on Towers?
So we were looking for Abathur, and we were unsure if their team was an Abathur team. So we were just gonna let it slide, and if it does go through, we were gonna try out using our Hammer Medivh comp. So we pulled it out.
Yes, that's what it was. There were a couple times there where I felt like you guys were almost on top of that fort. You were getting it whittled down, but then Illidan came through. You had to force back, and then the mule from Abathur did so much work that game.
Very hard for us to. I mean, we're still working on it. Like we haven't gotten all the kinks out yet, but yeah, the mule was very frustrating.
Absolutely there. One more hero that I was talking about in the early game. Talk to me a little bit about Garrosh. Now, Garrosh is, I believe, at this point, still the most involved hero in Storm Division so far. I think he's been involved in like all but one game. But when he's got into games, he's actually got a pretty poor win rate. Do you feel like is it the matchup into ETC that's causing him problems?
I would say Garrosh actually is strong into ETC.
Okay.
Joe is the only one that can really go toe to toe with him, just because her trade is just so strong against him, just being thrown in and then being able to walk out. But Garrosh is very interesting. He's really scary and hard to fight, but if you draft around him properly, it can be really good. which is what we did. And I think the Tomb game we let them have Rosh. But he forces you to play very differently, and so it's risky to pick him early. But he's such a strong pick, so it's like you got to really weigh the pros and cons of picking Rosh.
Okay. Yeah, because I was taking a look at the stats and I saw the low win rate but the high pick rate, and I was trying to wrap my head around it, but that's a pretty good explanation of why we see him quite so often. Just a game-shaping hero is Garrosh.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about, I guess the last hero I really want to talk about here is Yrel. Nasmus did some incredible work on Yrel in this series, really sort of bounced back and forth. What do you feel Yrel brings to a team in terms of just contribution to the offlane, contribution to those team fights?
I think Yrel has 3 really important key aspects. 1, she can clear really well. 2, she's a lane bully, and 3, she's hard to kill in fights. So you can have her soak lanes, and when she comes into fights, she's just causing a bunch of ruckus in the back line, which lets us, for instance, if we're running Rosh or if we have really high damage, we could focus on tanks while he's messing with their DPS players.
Okay, yeah, we definitely saw some heavy interruption there coming out from Nasmus, really throwing off the rhythm in those team fights. Really excellent stuff to watch. All right, well, looking forward here, you're now undefeated, opening 2 weeks, picking up the wins. Is there a team that you're looking forward to facing, a team that you feel like you're going to meet your match here in the coming weeks?
We look forward to playing every team. We love playing all the different play styles and seeing what everyone's picking. So I wouldn't say there's a specific team we're looking for, but it's looking forward to fighting everyone.
All right, fantastic stuff. Well, as we close out here, once again, congratulations on the hard-fought 3-2 victory. Are there any shout-outs you'd like to make before we close things out here today?
Yeah, totally. Shout out for you for casting this games. It's always great to see casters like you casting. Shout out to my team. We played great tonight, guys. Shout out to the opposing team. You guys really, really put up a tough challenge. There was some back and forth for sure. Shout out to NGS. This is amazing. Totally love playing this. Shout out to the HOTS community. I love you guys. Yeah, that's about it.
All right, fantastic to hear. So thank you very much for joining me, and good luck going forward.
Thanks, you too.